Think a private education is too expensive?
Good afternoon, baseball fans. We're coming to you live from Fox Field, the campus of the University of Lynchburg. It's a Wednesday ODAC baseball matchup between the University of Lynchburg Hornets and the Virginia Wesleyan Marlins. We're getting set for the first pitch here right after the national anthem. Stick around. You'll be able to see all the action live on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. Baseball time again from Fox Field in Lynchburg. Kyle Haney hanging out with you. It's the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network, and we're glad to have you along for the ride this Wednesday, March. And we've got warmer weather, but we've still got windy conditions here at Fox. I'm sure we'll mention the weather some as the day goes on, and we'll talk about these two ball clubs. It's the University of Lynchburg Hornets. They enter the game at 13-3, 3-1 in Old Dominion Athletic Conference play, and undefeated at home. Still 7-0 at Fox Field, and we'll mention that home record in the last few years for Lynchburg because it's pretty impressive. It's been an absolute fortress here at Fox for the Hornets when they are playing baseball at home. Lynchburg will be in the white-on-white look today, white jersey, white pants to go along with the black hat with the red bill. Taking on the Virginia Wesleyan Marlins from Virginia Beach. They come into the game at 13-3-1. Yeah, a tie on there. That was a conference tie with Guilford. Wesleyan enters the game at 2-1-1 in ODAC play. They are 1-4-1 away from home. And a lot of the numbers, the tail of the tape seems to favor Lynchburg in this one as well. But any baseball coach or baseball fan can tell you that the numbers a lot of times don't matter in the game of baseball. Virginia Wesleyan was in action yesterday taking on Salisbury, number 4 in the country right now, Salisbury. And that was actually their 8th game against a ranked team this season for Virginia Wesleyan. So when the Marlins start this one against Lynchburg, it'll be the 9th time that they've played a ranked team this year. Lynchburg comes into the game ranked 12th in the country. Hornets were last in action Saturday, a doubleheader at Roanoke. They split. They took game 1, 9-4, and then lost game 2, 3-1. Lynchburg used 6 pitchers in that second game, including Brandon Pond, who started and went 3 scoreless. Lynchburg actually out-hit Roanoke in game 2, 7-5, but they end up losing in that one. Lynchburg had 9 hits in the first game to go with those 9 runs. Only 1 walk in the doubleheader drawn for the Lynchburg offense, and that speaks to how well Roanoke was pitching on Saturday. But it's a new ball game now. Virginia Wesleyan will lead off with Jalen Hines. Jalen Hines, number 14, the right fielder, left-handed hitter, into the batter's box to face Nick Matfield. Nick Matfield has put together an outstanding season so far for Lynchburg. He's 2-1. The ERA has been coming down after a rocky first start. It's down to 6.61, which may seem inflated, but you got to think he didn't finish the first inning in his initial start of the season. So to have it continually drop like Nick Matfield has is pretty important. He struck out 21 on the season, matched that up with only 7 walks. Matfield's got an 0-2 count early. He'll lose one in the other batter's box there and run it to 1-2 against Jalen Hines. Hines is a quality leadoff man for Virginia Wesleyan. Comes into the game hitting .295 on the season. Got 2 homers, a triple, and 2 doubles, so got some power in there. Lays off that off-speed pitch in the dirt. Nice block by Holden Fiedler. He'll be the battery mate with Nick Matfield today. Fiedler and Matfield working together around the infield. It's Josh Jorman at first. It'll be Jackson Harding playing second. Shortstop is Gavin Collins today, and Ben Jones at third. We'll get you the outfield here in just a moment for the Hornets as they're going to get some activity in that outfield. This ball is driven to deep right field. Hines thought he had a lot of it, and yeah, he did. That ball is gone. A leadoff home run for Jalen Hines. You could sort of tell that he knew he hit it well based on the fact that he did not break out of the box running hard. He started to pick up speed about 2/3 of the way down to first base. I think maybe he wondered if he did get enough of it, but he gets under it, pulls it out of here for the first run of the game, first hit of the game. And just like that, Virginia Wesleyan is on board with the solo shot here in the top of the first. So Matfield got it to an 0-2 start. And I don't think it was a terrible pitch. Give Jalen Hines a lot of credit for getting down there and digging one out that looked like it was just below the knee maybe. Gavin Collins fires across. That's 6-3 for out number 1 in the first inning. Much more to Matfield's liking. Good hustle down the line there by the catcher Holden Fiedler to back it up. And we've got one gone in the top of the first. Trent Henschey in the box now for Virginia Wesleyan. Another left-handed hitter. The wind is blowing out to right field. So Jalen Hines did really effectively kind of get that one up in the jet stream there for Virginia Wesleyan. And a great way to start. Lynchburg pitchers have not surrendered many homers on the season. It's just 4 given up. But that'll be number 5 for the Lynchburg pitching staff. And that one fouled away. Another 0-2 count. So Matfield, he's faced 3 batters and gotten strike 1 all 3 times. He typically does have great command. I mentioned that number there. 21 strikeouts to only 7 walks for Matfield. That one got by Fiedler and skips to the backstop, but it's a ball anyway. 1-2 with 1 gone here in the top of the first. Lynchburg and Virginia Wesleyan. Wesleyan was in action yesterday, lost to Salisbury 13-2 on the road. And then they come down here to play Lynchburg in a midweek ODAC matchup, our first midweek ODAC game of the season. This one lifted into center field. Actually, it won't even get out that far. Collins under it. behind the bag at second for out number 2. It's Matt Cinco stepping to the plate now for Virginia Wesleyan. He leads them an average at .339, started 15 of the 17 this season. He's collected 21 hits in those 15 games. He's got 17 runs driven in as well. He is the leader for the Marlins in that category. Right on the border there of Norfolk and Virginia Beach for Virginia Wesleyan. I think at one point they actually had a Norfolk address, but now it's a Virginia Beach address for the Marlins from Virginia Wesleyan. Breaking ball misses, so now it's a 2-0 count for Nick Matfield. First time he's fallen behind a hitter today. Works exclusively from the stretch. This one tapped to third. Could be a toughie for Ben Jones. Sidearms across, and you got a collision at first. Jorman thinks he got the out. He was sprinting into the dugout. I don't know if he was selling the call or he really thought he had it. Yeah, he's going to actually plead his case a little bit now. Jorman and Matt Cinco got tangled up there as Cinco was getting to the bag. Looked like Cinco took the worst of it. Josh Jorman just popped right up and was headed to the dugout. Good little glove tap, fist bump there. Sportsmanship on display at first base. But it is a runner at first now, as head coach Lucas Jones will have a short conversation with that field umpire over there at first base to talk about the call. There is 2 gone. We thought maybe 3, but just 2 away here in the top of the first. It's a 1-0 Virginia Wesleyan lead. It was the leadoff home run from Jalen Hines. If you joined us late, it was an 0-2 count to begin on Hines. Worked it to 2-2 and then busted one out of here down to right field. The wind is blowing out in that direction. The windy trend continues here at Fox Field. It seems like every game this season we've seen some wind. Different directions, but typically it will blow out to right or right center. I think that's the predominant or prevailing wind direction. Umpires are going to get together, so you like to see this. They want to get it together and try to get the call right. We do not have the benefit of instant replay, but sometimes 3 heads are better than 1 here, and we'll see if the call changes or not. It will be Connor Hall due up for Virginia Wesleyan, either now or to begin the second inning. It's a little bit of a delay for Nick Matfield, which pitchers never love, but I don't think it's going to bother him too much. It's not that long of a delay just yet. Lynchburg will be on the road this weekend, taking on Washington and Lee in ODAC action. And there is some weather, possible rain projected for Saturday. And that was the original date for the game. It looks like it might be pushed to Sunday. That's not in stone yet, though, fans, so don't necessarily make any plans just based on what I'm saying there. We'll be back here at Fox Field next week. Lynchburg will take on Hampton-Sydney Tuesday. That'll be a week from yesterday. And then 1 week from today, another ranked opponent comes to town, the Christopher Newport Captains. That'll be on Wednesday, March 29th. So sort of a long conversation here for the 3 umpires talking about the play at first. It was bang-bang for sure. The throw was a little bit up the line and pulled Jorman off. He collided with the runner, Matt Cinco. It looks like the field umpire is going to walk over to Virginia Wesleyan head coach Chris Francis and give him the breakdown. It kind of makes me wonder if they're going to call him out based on the fact that if they were going to call him safe, fans, the umpires probably wouldn't need to talk to Chris Francis. They would just give the safe signal and move on. But I think they're going to call him out. Lynchburg's defense is running off the field. That's exactly why the umpires went over to talk to Chris Francis. So what could have been a base runner there with 2 outs is now probably going to be gone. It's going to be 6-3 in the books. Yeah, they do change the call, and Lynchburg will get out of the first inning. It's 1 run on 1 hit, 1 big fly. No errors, none left on for Virginia Wesleyan, and we go to the bottom of the first here at Fox Field on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. Getting ready to begin the bottom of the first inning here at James C. Fox Field on the campus of the University of Lynchburg. Kyle Haney hanging out with you. It's a full day of athletics here on campus. We've got some women's lacrosse going on, some softball going on. And we're glad you're checking us out here on the baseball diamond. Due up for Lynchburg. Cam Lane will lead off and play right field. Josh Jorman, who just made an outstanding play at first base, will bat second. He's swinging a very hot bat lately. Avery Neves, the All-American, hitting third, playing left. Ben Jones, freshman, will bat fifth and play third base. Bat fourth, Riley O'Donovan's in the fifth spot, DHing. Gavin Collins, the shortstop, will hit sixth. Jackson Harding playing second base, hitting seventh. The catcher, Holden Fiedler, bats eighth. And Carson Atkins, the center fielder, will be in the 9-hole spot for Lynchburg. They'll face Micah Fox, who has really the best numbers for Virginia Wesleyan. 7 appearances, but just 1 start, so the bulk of the work has been out of the bullpen for Micah Fox. But he enters with a 2.51 earned run average. He is 1-1 on the season with 14 1/3 innings pitched. He's only surrendered 4 earned runs in those 14-plus innings, and he struck out 10 and walked 2. So all signs point to an effective arm on the mound here for Virginia Wesleyan, and somebody they think is going to give them a chance to win a game on the road here against Lynchburg. Wesleyan had to use 6 pitchers yesterday against Salisbury. They did have a couple that threw scoreless innings. That was Charlie Britt and Zach Megaro. So wonderful to see maybe those guys again after some pretty good stuff yesterday against a quality opponent. Back-to-back games for Virginia Wesleyan. Typically not a problem in baseball at all. If anything, I think hitters like playing regularly in back-to-back. You feel like you see the baseball a little bit better after live pitching the day before. Cam Lane fouls one off. It's an 0-2 count against the side-arming Micah Fox. Fox working exclusively from the stretch here as a starter. So he gives you a different look, kind of the weird arm angle. You see that a lot more in college baseball now. Seems like everybody has at least a sidearm guy or two. And if you can get a lefty sidearmer or submariner, that's even better because they're obviously a bit more rare. Still an 0-2 count on the leadoff man, Cam Lane, for Lynchburg. He'll roll this one to the second baseman. Gobbled up, no problem, and there is 1 gone here in the bottom of the first. Yeah, typically that sidearm, you get a little bit more run with the fastball, a little bit more sink, a little bit more tail. And the changeup should be the same way. Then the question becomes, can you throw a breaking ball, a pitch that moves back the other way, back to the glove side? Can you pair that with your already sinking, tailing stuff? Josh Jorman's just going to wear that one in his wallet, and Lynchburg has their first base runner of the afternoon. Josh Jorman on board. That continues a hot trend for him. Josh Jorman's hitting .458 in the last 5 games. He has really been the most consistent at batter for Lynchburg. And the last time we were broadcasting on LHSN at Fox Field, Josh Jorman had a walk-off base hit to win Lynchburg a ball game against Bridgewater. So he's on board here for Avery Neves. Swings on the first one, sends it to center. Center fielder did not sprint back initially, but finally got behind it there to pull that one in. That was Michael Burton out there in center field, who looked like he struggled initially. Maybe the wind carrying that ball, but finally got under it for out number 2. So 2 gone for another hot bat for Lynchburg. Ben Jones, another left-handed swinger. He has a 4-game hitting streak, and those are the only 4 games that he's hit in his college career. Ben Jones really didn't play until midway through the season. In fact, we saw his first college hit and at bat against Bridgewater to help set up that Josh Jorman walk-off. But Jones will fly out to left field, and the inning is over. 1 left on, no hits, no runs, no errors. And we'll head to the top of the first. It's Virginia Wesleyan leading Lynchburg 1-0.
Every great college has a great city. For Lynchburg, we are near urban areas with lots of restaurants, shopping, and events. Plus, we are one of the top schools in the area. Come see for yourself.
Wednesday afternoon baseball. Officially, we're seeing 55 degrees with 50% humidity and a 9-mile-an-hour wind, but I can tell you it's stronger than that here at Fox, fans. It's more in that 15-mile-an-hour range, and then you'll get some stronger gusts as well. But we always keep an eye on the wind, and you saw it really probably aid that home run from Jalen Hines, and it definitely made that fly ball tricky that Avery Neves hit in the bottom of the first. We're set to begin top of the second. Nick Matfield on the mound for Lynchburg, facing Connor Hall, the designated hitter. Connor Hall has started 10, played in 13. He's got 4 doubles and 8 driven in to go along with a .263 batting average. 2-0 count here on Matfield, who got ahead of the first 3 hitters but has fallen behind here to begin inning number 2. Matfield 2-1 on the season. The outstanding campaign last year as the ODAC Rookie of the Year. He was a third-team All-American last season. 9-1 in 14 starts with a 3.18 earned run average in over 72 innings of work. Very consistent for Lynchburg. There's a shot fielded on one bounce by Ben Jones. Strong throw across, and the first out is in the books. Michael Burton, that center fielder who struggled with the wind a little bit, walks to the plate. Burton comes into the game hitting .412, leading Virginia Wesleyan in average. I think I said Matt Cinco leads them in average. Michael Burton may not have enough at-bats to qualify. He has started 9 games. Over .400 for Virginia Wesleyan. Right-handed hitter. Watches ball 1 go by. Virginia Wesleyan hits .287 as a team, fans. For comparison, Lynchburg hitting over .300 as a team this season. That average has gone up for Lynchburg as well. Through 10 games, Lynchburg was batting .276 as a team. So that shows you a little bit what they've done in the last 6 games. Lynchburg comes in at 13-3. I believe they were 8-2 through those 10 games. So some successful games in there and some high-scoring games for Lynchburg in there. Last week, midweek, they had high-scoring outputs against Greensboro and Pfeiffer. Both those games on the road for Lynchburg, both victories. And the run totals went down this weekend against Roanoke, but Lynchburg did still score 9 in that first game. And Lynchburg did out-hit Roanoke in both games despite just getting the 1 victory. 2-2 the count now for Michael Burton, the center fielder for Virginia Wesleyan. Get a good look, the side shot there at Nick Matfield. He deals, breaking ball, strikeout. 2 gone now in the top of the second. First K of the game for Nick Matfield. John Bastions in the box now for Virginia Wesleyan. 7-hole hitter playing first base for the Marlins. He is a sophomore from Virginia Beach. Shows the bunt there and takes strike 1. Matfield was off the mound with some attention on the bunt there. He was ready for it. That should be strike 2. Yeah, 0-2 the count now for Nick Matfield. Just picked up the first strikeout. Might be looking for the second one here. Be a good way to end the inning, especially after giving up the solo shot in the first inning. Again, it wasn't really a bad pitch. You got to give Jalen Hines the bulk of the credit there on that ball that he poked out to right field. Matfield misses there. I think it was supposed to be away, but that might have been even a bit more than he wanted. See what kind of arm angle Matfield goes with here. He likes to change it up, give you the over the top, the side arm, sometimes even come with the submarine. I think that was more of that natural low 3/4 arm slot. But he's got them all. He can go to them all. I mentioned there is a method to the madness sometimes, but as a pitcher, or a hitter rather, it's hard to decipher what's coming next and what he throws from where. Just one of the many, many reasons why Nick Matfield is so tough. 1-2 count, 2 gone here in the top of the second. Looked like just a regular fastball that missed the target away, and now 2-2. Twos are wild here to number 13, John Bastians, the first baseman. Clay Clark would be due up next, the shortstop, if Virginia Wesleyan can keep the inning going. A lot of lefties in the lineup for both ball clubs. Just looking at the on-deck circle, Clark is another left-handed swinger. We've got a full count with 2 gone. See if Matfield wants to continue to try to nibble and hit an edge here, or maybe it's just a middle target. Looks like set up away from Holden Fiedler. And that pitch just missed. Pretty competitive. Good take by Bastians to lay off there. But he's aboard with a walk. It is the second base runner of the game for Virginia Wesleyan. They thought they were going to have a runner on with 2 away in the top of the first, but Josh Jorman handled a wide throw and made a tag really almost simultaneously. He made the catch with the first baseman's mitt, applied the tag, and got spun out as Matt Cinco was charging down the line. Cinco seemed to take more of the damage as Josh Jorman popped right up. The umpire ruled him safe initially, but our 3 officials got together and changed the call to out. That's how the top of the first ended. Matfield throws over once. Keep an eye on Bastians there. Virginia Wesleyan is a team that can run. 33 stolen bases already on the season, which is a pretty good number. 33 out of 44 for Virginia Wesleyan. So it's definitely a part of their game. Bastians personally is 1 for 2 stolen bases this year. 1-1 is the count now to Clay Clark, the shortstop. Don't think he started at shortstop yesterday. Did have 1 hit in the loss to Salisbury. Clay Clark, another one of those left-handed hitters. Going to double-check their lineup from yesterday just to see if Clay Clark was playing shortstop or not. The beauty of the internet, all the statistics and all the information is available at your fingertips. Clark's going to show bunt. That one will get fouled off of Holden Fiedler. He'll shake the head. I think he's okay. Kind of a glancing blow there, but good job by the umpire to give Fiedler a little break there and run the baseball out to Nick Matfield. 1-2 the count now. Yeah, it was a 13-2 loss to Salisbury yesterday for Virginia Wesleyan. Salisbury Seagulls scored 8 in the bottom of the second and probably put it out of reach there with that big inning. But it wasn't all bad for Virginia Wesleyan. I mentioned they had a couple guys with pretty nice pitching performances. Yeah, it looks like Thomas Crandall started at shortstop yesterday, and Clay Clark came into the ball game. He'll swing on this one, lifted to left. Neves is there. Wind pulling it to center a bit, but no problem for number 30, and the inning is over. 1 left on, no hits, no errors, and no runs. We'll head to the bottom of the second. The Marlins leading the Hornets 1-0 at Fox Field in Lynchburg. Here comes Riley O'Donovan, the DH for Lynchburg. Number 19 will lead off the bottom of the second inning, facing Micah Fox. In his second start of the season, wow, yeah, that one was going to go behind O'Donovan if it didn't hit him, but it does. It's a hit batter, second of the ball game. We've talked really all season about how that's a big part of Lynchburg's game. That'll be the 24th time they have been hit this season. It was a 107 hit batsman last year for Lynchburg, 107. That was over 2 per game. They're under that per game number this year. It's right around 1.4, but still a part of Lynchburg's game that I think is pretty underrated. If you're going to throw one in their direction, they're not going to move out of the way. Cam Lane is the all-time leader in hit by pitch here at Lynchburg. He led off the game, and this man, Gavin Collins, is second all-time hit by pitch. So it's really an interesting thing that you probably don't talk about too much, but definitely a part of the game, and a part of the game, a little thing where Lynchburg has an edge. Their pitchers do not hit nearly as many batters as the Lynchburg hitters get plunked. 1-1 the count for Gavin Collins. Had O'Donovan leaning over there at first, but he's back in time on a dive. 1-1 for Gavin Collins, playing shortstop. Played shortstop in the second game against Roanoke. He's primarily played third base this year, but started his career at Lynchburg as a shortstop. ODAC Rookie of the Year a couple years ago as a shortstop. Oh, wow, and they got O'Donovan on the second one. It's going to be a caught stealing officially, but Riley O'Donovan picked off there at first base. That will be the first out of the inning in kind of strange fashion, as they threw on him prior to that, and he was leaning and was able to get back on the dive. Virginia Wesleyan went back again. Maybe O'Donovan didn't think they would pick back-to-back times. Might have been the thought process there. But either way, it's out number 1. Good take there by Gavin Collins to lay off what looked like a pretty good breaking ball out of the right hand of Micah Fox. There's another one, same type of pitch. This one missed further away, and now Gavin Collins has got himself in a good hitter's count. Gavin Collins statistically didn't have a great day against Roanoke, but had a lot of really good at-bats. Hit the ball hard, drove the outfielders back. I mean, he made the left fielder work pretty tough on several outs against Roanoke in the doubleheader on Saturday, and that's why you can throw out all the stats, and you got to give some stats. It's baseball. There's all the statistical knowledge and numbers, and they do mean something, but sometimes they're misleading, and they don't really tell you how good of a day a guy had. In this case, it was Gavin Collins on Saturday. I mean, he just squared the ball up several times and hit it right at the left fielder. And I like Gavin Collins' game for sure. He can beat you in a lot of different ways, including that hit by pitch. He's got a full count here with one gone. He'll drive that one to center. See if the center fielder can run this one down. He cannot. It's a double. It'll go rolling off the wall, and it might be 3. Yeah, Gavin Collins is going to keep trucking around the bag and slide into third base with a triple. So there you go. 3 bases for Gavin Collins on a ball that was just blistered over the center fielder's head. On board and in scoring position, 90 feet away for the second baseman, Jackson Harding. Lynchburg trailing 1-0, but maybe not for long here. 1 away in the bottom of the second. Very impressive there from Gavin Collins. That is his second triple of the season. And now it looks like the trainer and the coach, Chris Francis from Virginia Wesleyan, are going to go take a look at the center fielder. Michael Burton broke hard on that ball, couldn't get to it. And they're going to have a look at him. We have a little bit of time here. It is the bottom of the second inning at James C. Fox Field, the campus of the University of Lynchburg. LynchburgSports.com is the website to stay up to date with everything. Of course, we've got the social media stops covered, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Make sure you get with Lynchburg there. If you're a Virginia Wesleyan fan, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you're having great weather down there, Virginia Beach or wherever you are. This Virginia Wesleyan roster pretty diverse as far as geography goes. They've got a lot of players from Virginia, obviously, but Maryland is well represented. They've got some players from Delaware, a couple Puerto Rico, one Dominican Republic. And it's a fun roster to look at for Virginia Wesleyan. It looks like Michael. Let's see if Michael Burton is going to come off, and he will be walking with the trainer. So his day looks like it's going to be done early, and we'll try to get you the change here in a second. It looks like Jalen Hines has gone over to center field. And we'll figure out the rest of the changes here in just a minute, fans. Virginia Wesleyan is going to need to figure out a way to get out of here without giving up any runs in this bottom of the second inning. Jackson Harding, left-handed swinger, due up, slashes it to first, and that's going to drop in. Base hit, run will score easily, and you're going to get extra bases for Jackson Harding. Oh, this ball's gone out of play. This ball got under the fence or perhaps trapped between the windscreen and the fence. You had the left fielder threw his hands up, the universal dead ball signal there, and that's what the coaches and umpires tell you to do. If you try to dig it out of the windscreen or if it's stuck under the fence, then it's fair game and the runner can keep running. But if you can't get it, you throw your hands up and it's a dead ball, and it forces Jackson Harding to stop at second. So it's a double, a run-scoring double for Jackson Harding, back-to-back extra base hits for Lynchburg. This offense might be heating up quickly here. Already tied the game at 1, and the damage is not done yet with Holden Fiedler at the plate. And how about Lynchburg's offense, how good it has been this season. And Holden Fiedler, who's hitting in the 8 spot, is leading them in average at .389. So you can have your leading average man batting 8th, and then you get Carson Atkins in the 9 hole, who's been swinging a very hot bat lately. It's a good situation to have offensively for Coach Lucas Jones. There's that slurvy breaking ball from Micah Fox. It's the slurve. It's in between the slider and the curve. And really it's not exactly a true slider when you're talking about that slurve pitch, but very effective as a breaking ball, and a lot of guys throw it. A lot of guys don't even really know they're throwing it. They just call it a curveball. There's one that missed inside, hit the left hip of Holden Fiedler. It's the third hit batter of the game. Josh Jorman got hit. Riley O'Donovan got hit. And now Holden Fiedler hit by a pitch. And this will bring a conversation from the Virginia Wesleyan dugout with runners at the corners with one away here in the bottom of the second. Jackson Harding is at second after the RBI double. He drove in Gavin Collins, who hit a triple in the right center gap to really get the party started. Riley O'Donovan actually led off with that hit by pitch, but he was picked off. That's the only out that Virginia Wesleyan has been able to get this inning. Micah Fox will stay in. Micah Fox actually pitched twice last weekend, or this weekend rather, against Eastern Mennonite. Pitched in both games on Saturday and Sunday. It was 1 inning on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Struck out 3 in 2 innings of work against EMU in that ODAC series. So definitely a guy that Virginia Wesleyan likes. It looks like the weekend starters for Wesleyan are Connor Mock and Cam Nolet. Just based on the statistics, Nolet has started 5, Mock has started 4, but Micah Fox might be third in line. And really, Micah Fox, with 7 appearances with 1 start in there, now being his second start, he can do a little bit of everything for Virginia Wesleyan. But he's in a jam right now, runners on first and second. Might have said at the corners earlier. But Harding had to hold it second with the dead ball on his double down the left field line. Carson Atkins lays off that one. It's a 2-1 count for a guy that has hit 2 home runs in the last 5 games. 7 hits in the last 5 games for Carson Atkins. Really starting to heat up. had a solo shot against Roanoke in Game 2. That was the only run that Lynchburg scored in that 3-1 loss. There's a pick to second. That will send Harding back to the bag on his feet. When you've been picked off in a game, the rest of the team becomes hyper aware of that. You don't want to be another guy that gets picked off, which is just good baseball, really. Fox misses low and away there. Atkins, no problem laying off that one. And here comes the hitter's count. Got to believe Carson Atkins is looking to drive this one, looking for something he can do some damage with. And the 9-hole man does have some power. 2 home runs in the last 5 games. Might be going all in for another one right here. Foul back. It's a good rip. Just kind of out of the power zone there. So call it a good pitch from Micah Fox. Full count now with 1 away. Tie ball game, 1-1, bottom of the second. Jalen Hines hit a solo home run to lead off the game for Virginia Wesleyan. Lynchburg has scored 1 here in the bottom of the second. The threat is not over yet. Atkins will swing through that for out number 2. He's gone on the K, and it brings up the leadoff man, Cam Lane. Bounced out to second in his first at bat. But here comes that situation again that we've said many, many times. Lynchburg's getting to the leadoff man for the second time in the second inning. That bodes well offensively for the Hornets. 2 at-bats in 2 innings for the leadoff man, Cam Lane. That one just missed low and away. You see the movement there from Fox. You can just see it on your screen. Nothing is ever straight. He does have that frisbee kind of a slurve breaking ball to go with the 2-seamer that would run away from a left-hander like Cam Lane. Oh, hit him. 4th hit batter of the game. And there's your career leader at Lynchburg with another hit by pitch. 4th hit batter of the ball game. 3rd one of the inning for Micah Fox. He's given up some damage when he's been in the zone, but I think more of the problem and more of the frustration probably for the Virginia Wesleyan coaching staff is the hit batters. You don't mind a few of them. You know you got to pitch inside. You're going to miss in there every now and then. But 3 in 1 inning, 4 total is not going to make the pitching staff feel real good. And Josh Jorman's gotten hit for a 2nd time today. That's the 5th hit batter. That will bring in a run. Jackson Harding scores. So Harding's day is looking good. A double, an RBI, and a run scored. Josh Jorman officially has no at-bats. 2 plate appearances. He's been hit twice. And now Avery Neves steps up with a chance to just absolutely bust the door down. It's a 2-1 Lynchburg lead. Bottom of the second. Here's Avery Neves facing a pitcher that has just hit back-to-back batters. That breaking ball misses outside. Micah Fox has hit 3 out of the last 4 hitters. There's a strikeout sandwiched in there. Avery Neves has not reached base today, and he had his long streak snapped in Game 2 against Roanoke. Did not reach base in that one. It was 48 of 48 last year, and he had reached base 15 straight games this season, but the streak came to an end for Avery Neves at 63 in a row. 63 games in a row, Neves reached base somehow, hit, walk, or a hit batter, but couldn't get on in Game 2 against Roanoke. In his career, Avery Neves has now reached base 112 out of 115 games he's played in a Lynchburg uniform. Hitting with the bases loaded and 2 outs here. He'll swing through that breaking ball. 2-2 count now for Avery Neves. 112 of 115. He's played 115 at Lynchburg, and he's reached base at least once in 112 of them. Mind-boggling stat. See if he can get on here and keep this big inning going. He'll get under a breaking ball, thinks he knows he missed it. danger zone there as the left fielder, center fielder, and shortstop were all converging in the Bermuda Triangle, but the out is made. The inning is retired, but it was a big one for Lynchburg. 2 runs on 2 hits, 4 hit batters in there, and they leave 3 on, but they do take the lead. Lynchburg on top, 2-1 as we go to the top of the 3rd inning on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Get your career in the game by enrolling in the University of Lynchburg MBA program with an emphasis in sport management. This program opens the doors to new possibilities for a variety of careers, from being an athletic director or working in athletic administration to working for professional organizations, your favorite team, to running a local Parks and Rec department. And employers are increasingly requesting and preferring individuals who have postgraduate education, specifically looking for an MBA. And so the University of Lynchburg Sport Management concentration in the MBA program sets you up for success, and it sets you apart from the many other people looking for jobs in the industry. Learn from winners. Here you will learn from professors and mentors who have spent their careers doing exactly what you want to do. Increase your marketability in an $83 billion industry. If you have a 3.0 GPA, the GMAT is waived. There's no application fee, admissions occurs on a rolling basis, and our online program is ideal for working adults. When you enroll in this program, you enroll in the opportunity to learn from the best of the best. Your professors have a wealth of experience working in the sport industry that they share with you in the classroom setting. Get in the game by getting your MBA with a sport management concentration at the University of Lynchburg. Just you know, Hollywood, here I come. Hey, I meant, yeah.
The real Lindsay Piper's here.
Autographs there later. Let's.
We go to the top of the 3rd here at Fox Field. 9-hole hitter Chris Mitchell up for Virginia Wesleyan, and he'll face Angel Collazo for Lynchburg. The Latin flair is in there. Angel's going to put some hot sauce on it for us, and he has been really getting a steady diet of work for Lynchburg. He's kind of been the first man up out of the bullpen in the month of March. Pitched on Saturday in Game 2 against Roanoke, and he's on right now. Left-hander Angel Collazo misses with the first pitch. So a short day for Nick Matfield. He had been battling some injury issues, and that could factor into things for Matfield as Mitchell turns on 1 foul. Gave up the solo home run. It wasn't a bad start at all for Nick Matfield, and he didn't appear to be in any noticeable discomfort or pain. But the move now is Angel Collazo on the mound for Lynchburg. And it could have been the plan all along for the Hornets. Not uncommon in these midweek games to rely heavily on the bullpen, use a lot of different pitchers. It looks like there is activity in the Lynchburg bullpen. Wesley Arrington warming up. He threw 1 inning in the game against Roanoke. Seemed to be setting up a possible appearance today. 2-2 the count on Chris Mitchell. So officially, Nick Matfield gave him 2 innings pitched and just the 1 earned run on 1 hit. The home run, struck out 1. Just missed there. Very competitive pitch from Angel Collazo. Mitchell lays off, trying to get the inning started here for Virginia Wesleyan. Lynchburg in the last inning, offensively, scored 2 on the 2 hits. It was a triple and a double. 4 hit batters in there. And really, the damage could have been significantly worse for Virginia Wesleyan. It was a pickoff at first. Riley O'Donovan got erased after his hit by pitch. A strikeout. Atkins went down swinging, and then Avery Neves flew out to left. All that mixed in with the 2 extra base hits and the 4 hit batters for Virginia Wesleyan. Marlins maybe should feel somewhat fortunate that the inning materialized and ended up the way it did. It's a 2-1 ball game now. Good at bat going here from Chris Mitchell. Long at bat. Lays off low and away there. Really nice stuff from Mitchell. Fouled off some good pitches, also took some good pitches. And he is aboard. Second walk of the day for Virginia Wesleyan. And Jalen Hines will get his second at bat. The leadoff man parked one. First time up. He'll show the bunt here and pull it back. Lynchburg appeared to be ready for it. Ben Jones, the third baseman, was already in on the grass. And he came hard when Hines showed the bunt there. Runner at first is Chris Mitchell. Infield is double play depth. He'll show the bunt again and pop it up. Caught by Fiedler, no problem. And that's out number one, and a little frustrating for Virginia Wesleyan. But there's one gone. And Sam Caspro steps back into the box for his second at bat of the afternoon. He bounced out to shortstop his first time up. Busy ODAC day today. We've got other games going on in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. Maybe you're popping around at some other games. There's Collazo showing the move over to first. Angel on the season has got a really good earned run average. It's 2.61 for Angel in 7 appearances. Does have 2 losses. He's walked 3, struck out 3, given up 3 earned runs in just over 10 innings of work in those 7 appearances. This one fouled out of play. Should set up an 0-2 count here on Sam Caspro. He's the only guy on the Wesleyan roster that has started every game. Sam Caspro playing second base today. Comes into the game with 23 hits, 5 doubles and a homer to go along with just 6 driven in for Sam Caspro. He's stolen some bags too. Mentioned Virginia Wesleyan. 33 as a team coming in to the game. And Chris Mitchell Jr. there on first has stolen 3 of them. You see him bouncing off. Collazo's keeping an eye on him. Part of the scouting report, I'm sure, for Coach Lucas Jones and his wonderful coaching staff. It's hard to outwork those guys as far as the preparation they're going to put into a game, especially a conference game, an ODAC game. They're going to have you pretty well scouted and know you in and out. Some of those early season games, as Caspro will go away swinging. Good pitch there from Collazo. Some of those early season games, the February, early March non-conference games, might not have the detailed scouting report. Multiple reasons for that. You just have a limited amount of time to scout people. You don't have a lot of data points yet, especially for the freshmen and new guys in the lineup on those teams, and arms as well. And then you might not want to overload your own guys with a bunch of extra information early in the year. You might want them just focusing on their thing, the fundamentals, whatever they're working on. Don't really worry about the opponent too much. But you get into the ODAC games, that's when that scouting report's going to get a bit more detailed. Nice one there from Collazo. That had some bite to it. Swing and a miss from Trent Henshey. 0-1 here with 2 gone. Chris Mitchell, the 9-hole batter, is the runner at first for Virginia Wesleyan. Collazo tried to go away, and it was taken that time by Henshey, the third baseman for Virginia Wesleyan. He started 16 of 17. Henshey is hitting .286 on the season. Collazo looks in, set. A look at Mitchell at first. There's the pick move. Good shot at it from our center field camera there. Collazo always bringing the energy, the enthusiasm to the game. Got his little, not pregame routine. It's a pre-inning routine, I guess, when he goes in, or a pre-appearance routine, maybe we should say. But it's always fun to watch. Swing and a miss there. We'll make our count 1-2. It'll be Jones, O'Donovan, and Collins due up for Lynchburg. They scored 2 in the bottom of the second. Another multi-run inning would make the Hornets feel pretty good about their chances in this one. Lynchburg comes in at 3-1 in ODAC play, just that one loss on Saturday to Roanoke. Split with the Maroons and a sweep of Bridgewater College, first weekend of ODAC play. Virginia Wesleyan 2-1-1 in conference. Yes, you can have ties. It was a 5-5 tie against Guilford. No lights down there at Guilford. So it ends up being a 5-5 tie. Virginia Wesleyan actually had a tie last year in the ODAC. They were 6-13-1 in conference play last year. So back-to-back years, Virginia Wesleyan has had a tie. There's a statistical oddity for you. Hanchy fouls that one away. 2-2 count here. Another long at bat. Like the patient approach from Virginia Wesleyan. Chris Mitchell's on first base because of that patient approach. Took a walk in an at bat where he fouled a couple pitches off that were tough and laid off a couple nasty pitches as well. Collazo looking to end the inning right here. Another throw over to keep an eye on Mitchell. Just a one hit so far for Virginia Wesleyan. That was the leadoff homer for Jalen Hines. He tried to bunt in this inning, but popped up to the catcher. Collazo deals, got him with a nasty breaking ball. Fiedler will throw down to first, and the inning is over. Back-to-back Ks for Angel Collazo, and we go to the bottom of the third inning. Lynchburg leads Virginia Wesleyan 2-1 on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. You can see the graphics on the screen. It's Jones, O'Donovan, and Collins due up for Lynchburg, 4, 5, 6. And they are wonderful graphics, and we are excited to have you watching on LHSN. Benton Jones, number 21, flew out to left field in his first at-bat. Jones has power to all fields, and he is a guy that has a 4-game hitting streak. This is just his 6th college game ever, and it's his 5th that he has hit in. And you see he's already in the cleanup spot for Lynchburg. That speaks to the damage that he can do. He had 2 home runs against Greensboro, a double against Roanoke, also a couple other really loud outs in Game 2 against Roanoke. One where he drove the left fielder back to the warning track. I mean, he's got power to all fields, too, Ben Jones, and just a freshman, which is incredible when you think about his weight room exploits are already becoming the stuff of legend. He's already one of the strongest guys on the team, but I've heard some numbers thrown out with his squat and his deadlift. He is a well-put-together, solid freshman, just about as solid as they come. Got himself in a hitter's count here, 2-1. And Lynchburg has the 2-1 lead. Good pitch there from Micah Fox, who enters his 3rd inning for Virginia Wesleyan. He's gotten touched up for the triple and the double, but again, the main problems have been the hit batters for Micah Fox and Virginia Wesleyan. Jones will slap that one foul. Fox comes into the game with pretty good control, really. 10 strikeouts and 2 walks. Looks like he's hit 1 on the season coming into the game, but that total just went up significantly. Jones will slap that one to the shortstop. Could be a tough play. He'll get to the first baseman on one bounce and not handled well. Jones will turn for second. We've got a play here at second. Head first slide, and he is out. You like the aggressiveness from Ben Jones trying to take a chance, but it's a short foul territory to the right of first base here at Fox Field. And the first baseman really does not have to go far to get those overthrows. It was a nice job by John Bastians of getting over there to the fence, picking it up clean, and throwing to the shortstop, Clark, for the out. Probably an error on Clark to get Jones on, but then they erase it with the out at second. Riley O'Donovan for his second plate appearance, but not at bat because he was hit in the second inning. He led off that second inning getting hit and then got picked off. So think about that now, fans. That's 2 base runners erased right there for Lynchburg. One on the pickoff last inning, and then one here after the overthrow. Ben Jones trying to get to second base. I do like the aggressiveness. Again, I don't think you can fault the hustle there at all. And he didn't seem to delay. It looked like Ben Jones saw the ball get by the first baseman. He changed directions almost immediately and took off on the sprint to second. I don't think it was a hesitation mistake or anything like that. Just a good play by the first baseman, Bastians, to get to the fence quickly and scoop that ball up. O'Donovan's out front of that curveball. He'll cap it foul. It's a 1-2 count. One of 5 batters that have been hit. Technically, fans, it's 4 Lynchburg batters that have been hit. Josh Jorman has been hit twice, but 5 total HBP in the books for the Hornets. Good take there on the breaking ball that seemed to fool O'Donovan last time. That's the danger in going right back to it. Some coaches will say, hey, if you got him out front one time, go right back to it. Throw the breaking ball again. But the danger is now O'Donovan has seen it. He's got the speed, got the feel, the depth, and all those things. He'll rip that one to center, and it'll be caught out there by Jalen Hines, who had to slide over after the injury to Michael Burton. Michael Burton was the starting center fielder. He ran after the ball that this man, Gavin Collins, hit in the second inning and then came out after that. So Jalen Hines has slid over to center for Virginia Wesleyan. It's Jake Ness that is in right field now for the Marlins. Gavin Collins will take strike one. 0-1 the count with 2 away in the bottom of the third. Gavin Collins will take a look at that breaking ball from Micah Fox. Maybe Micah Fox settling down a little bit here in the bottom of the third. Pitched twice this weekend, just 3 innings, though. And he had Monday and Tuesday to rest. Oh, that one nearly hit Collins. 1-2 now with 2 gone for Gavin Collins, who's already got a triple today. Fox, a long hold, another one that runs up and in. 2-2 the count now for Gavin Collins from Clifton, Virginia, Centerville High School, for Gavin Collins. He'll foul that one away. Collins has 115 career hits now after the triple. 115. He's driven in 93 in his career. In his 3rd year as a starter here as a junior for the University of Lynchburg. Looking to get career hit number 116. Won't get it here, though. Swings and misses at a breaking ball, and the inning is over. No hits, no errors, none left on, and no runs scored for Lynchburg.
Want to have some outdoor adventures while getting a degree at the same time? At the University of Lynchburg, we have an on-campus zip line and road course. Plus, we offer adventure trips that cost less than a cup of coffee. And did I mention our beautiful scenery? We're a university for students looking for something more than just books. Welcome to your new adventure experience.
When creating a sustainable future, your choices matter, even your choice of a college. The University of Lynchburg is the first college in Virginia to go carbon neutral. Our dining hall is green restaurant certified. We compost all of our food waste and purchase our electricity from landfill gas. Now we're turning a hazardous lake into a thriving urban wetland. When you choose Lynchburg, you leave a smaller footprint while building a better tomorrow.
Wesley Arrington on the mound to pitch for Lynchburg. It'll be the third pitcher the Hornets have used so far in this one. Arrington, it will be appearance number 6. He has started 3. He's been in that midweek starter role, but really available in any role. In fact, he pitched out of the bullpen effectively in Game 2 against Roanoke on Saturday. So Nick Matfield started, went 2 innings, gave up the 1 hit, the 1 homer, walked 1, struck out 1. Angel Collazo, his day is done after 1 inning for Lynchburg. Gave up 1 base runner on a walk, struck out 2. Hornets leading 2-1. Matt Cinco is back up for Virginia Wesleyan. Grounded out to the shortstop in his first at bat. Matt Cinco. He is the leading average man among, I guess, players that qualify. Matt Cinco has started 15 of the 17 games. Michael Burton is hitting .412, but just 9 starts in there, 34 at-bats so far for Michael Burton. But any way you slice it, Matt Cinco's a good player, and he'll up the average a little bit there with a ground ball through the left side. Just the second hit of the ball game for Virginia Wesleyan, and it's their first hit since that solo leadoff home run to begin the game from Jalen Hines. Connor Hall, the DH, up now, grounded out to third in his first at bat. Connor Hall has 10 starts, 4 doubles, 8 driven in. He's got another base hit here. He'll slap this one to left. Neves fields on 1 bounce. Station to station here. No way Cinco could advance to third on that. It's back-to-back base hits. So Virginia Wesleyan was dry for a few innings, but now starting to heat up a little bit, swinging the bat. Holden Fiedler will go have a conversation with not only Wes Arrington, but 3/4 of the infield. Now Josh Jorman, the first baseman, will get involved in the chat as well. So a couple things being discussed here. A bunt coverage probably being talked about for sure with runners on first and second and nobody away. Big-time sacrifice bunt situation here for Michael Burton. He's an outfielder, so you know he can run as well. You assume he can run. We know Michael Burton can run because we've seen him out there. It's not Michael Burton, though. It's the sub, Jake Ness. But Jake Ness is in the outfield playing right. So we'll assume Jake Ness has got good wheels, batting from that left side. So a bunt coverage will be talked about there on that mound visit, and then also probably trying to settle Wes Arrington down just a little bit after back-to-back singles to begin the top of the 4th. 2 runners on here for the Marlins, first and second. Get a good shot at Matt Cinco taking his lead at second. He led off the inning. There's the bunt. Back to Arrington. It's a good one. He'll have to go to first. Really had to hustle to get Burton out there, but Lynchburg does get the out on the sacrifice bunt. Runners move up 90 feet. Now 2 in scoring position for John Bastians, the first baseman, who missed the throw from the shortstop last inning but made a good play to scramble and then throw a strike himself to second to erase Ben Jones, who tried to advance the extra 90 feet on the overthrow in Lynchburg's bottom of the 3rd. Bastians walked in his first at bat. And here comes associate head coach Travis Beasley. And that's going to be all for Wesley Arrington. Arrington will be gone before the inning ends, and a lefty coming in the game for Lynchburg. It's going to be number 31, Austin Riney, in the game for Lynchburg. The left-on-left matchup, clearly part of the thought process here for the Hornets. And they go to Austin Riney. 2 appearances. This will be game number 3 he's pitched in. 1 inning total for Riney. He struck out 1, given up 1 hit, and surrendered 1 unearned run. So tough spot here with runners at second and third. Do have a base open. That helps the cause just a little bit for Austin Riney. But Wesley Arrington, call it just a third of an inning of work there. Leadoff single, back-to-back single for Virginia Wesleyan, and then the sacrifice bunt, and that's it. Arrington just facing the 3 hitters. Lynchburg with a wealth of options in the bullpen. And we can discuss some of those options as the game goes on, and I think we'll see probably quite a few of those options as the game goes on for Lynchburg. Not that Austin Riney couldn't go long and take this game into the later stages, the later innings. I think the thought process is that it's going to become a Johnny Holstaff type of day here where you're going to see a bunch of different arms for Lynchburg. This is the 4th pitcher in the same amount of innings so far. It's actually, we're just through 3 1/3 officially. Austin Riney on here for Lynchburg. He's a freshman, another one of those young talents. Midlothian, Virginia, Manchester High School. Lynchburg with so many young options out of the bullpen. Logan Tapman is a freshman. Matt Cassidy is a freshman. Those are 2 guys that have pitched quite a bit out of that bullpen and have done very effective work as well. Trevor Barnes, another one, a freshman, who has pitched nicely so far this season. Mason McDowell, another freshman. A lot of options. A youth movement for sure, pitching-wise, for Lynchburg. Oh, that's a hit batter to start there for Austin Riney. Not exactly what he had in mind, and now the bases will be loaded. Clay Clark, the shortstop, who flew out to left field in his first at-bat, has a chance to do some real damage, maybe starting with tying the ball game here for the Marlins. That's got to unsettle you a little bit if you're Austin Riney. You're a freshman coming into a big spot, runners on. You plunk the first guy. Looked like a breaking ball that he either just missed with or it didn't break. That one he misses the other direction. Felt like an overcorrection there for Riney. He hit the first left-handed batter, and then this next one to Clark, this next pitch, ends up in the right-handed batter's box. Split the difference here if you're Riney, and you should be in business. 1-0 count. Jorman playing in front of the runner at first. Ben Jones is even with the bag at third. There's that breaking ball. In the middle is at double play depth for Lynchburg. Hornets defense pretty proficient at those double plays this season. They've turned 16 of them through 16 games. For comparison, Lynchburg's offense has only hit into 10 double plays. Riney misses again. Now the count is 3-0. That second pitch there was the most competitive of the bunch. And Clay Clark, a hitter's dream right here with a 3-0 count, bases loaded. Might be a straight take from head coach Chris Francis, or maybe he's turning Clark loose. Doesn't matter. That ball was outside and up, and it is a walk. And the second run of the game for Virginia Wesleyan is in. We are tied 2-2, and here comes associate head coach Travis Beasley again. I think Austin Riney's day is done pretty quick. Lynchburg will bring in a new pitcher out of the bullpen. It is number 24, Logan Tapman, one of those freshmen that we just mentioned. The freshman from Berlin, Maryland, is on with the bases loaded and basically a brand new ball game. We're tied 2-2 in the top of the 4th, 1 away. The out was a sacrifice bunt. The inning has featured 2 singles, a hit batter, and a walk. And Virginia Wesleyan has tied the game with a chance to do more damage here. Logan Tapman on the mound. So for Riney, officially didn't record an out. Not exactly what he wanted and not what Hornet fans would have wanted. But Logan Tapman is in to potentially limit the damage here for Lynchburg. Tapman's been really good all season long. This will be appearance number 7. He's pitched 12 2/3 innings, struck out 10, walked 6, 5 earned runs. So basically an earned run every other inning for the freshman. He has started one game. Got the start in that road contest against CNU a couple weeks ago. Tapman's got good stuff. Another guy that is well built. I mean, physically, he's already there. He looks like a senior physically, and he's got the skill to go with it. He'll face the 9-hole man, Chris Mitchell. Got on with a walk in his first at bat, but then it'll be to the top of the order for Logan Tapman. So it's out of the frying pan and into the fire right here for another freshman for Lynchburg to try to put out the fire. And he is pitcher number 5 for Tapman. So you can debate all the hypotheticals about the pitching plan and all those things for Lynchburg, what they might have wanted to do. But right now, this is the situation. 5 pitchers in 4 innings. And I think that trend will continue. Again, not to say that Tapman couldn't go long. And at this point, that might be what you're hoping for if you're the Lynchburg coaching staff. 2-2 ball game. 3 hits total for Virginia Wesleyan. 1 error, but they erased that as Ben Jones tried to scramble to second for an extra 90 feet. Lynchburg's got 2 runs on 2 hits. Hornets have gotten 5 base runners via the hit by pitch. And it looks like we're ready to start again after what seemed like a long break there. Logan Tapman is up and ready to work. Double play depth all the way around the infield. Josh Jorman's is in front of the runner at first base. The outfield is medium depth with the center fielder Carson Atkins shaded to that right center gap. Wind is blowing out to that right center gap. Away target acquired, missed. Not a bad start there from Tapman. Just got to make it a little bit more competitive, a little bit closer to knee height there, and maybe Mitchell offers at that, but it's a 1-0 count for the 9-hole hitter for the Marlins. Third pitcher of the inning for Lynchburg. So you've got your plan, no doubt, but you like for pitchers to start and finish the inning themselves, ideally. You don't like to go to 3 pitchers. Even if you want to use 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 in a game, you prefer them all go 1 inning apiece. There's a rip into left field. That will score 1 and probably 2 as Neves couldn't really gain any ground on it, but Lynchburg's going to get the out at third. Neves will get an outfield assist there as Ben Jones was set up as the cut man, but then just sort of stepped up, caught that ball, and tagged out the runner, Clay Clark, as he was trying to advance from first to third. So it's the second out of the inning. It's a 2 RBI double there for Chris Mitchell. And Virginia Wesleyan will sport their second lead of the day. They were on top 1-0 to start the game after the first batter of the game. But Clay Clark thrown out at third. For Avery Neves, you know he's got a good throwing arm. It's another one of those ways that he can impact the game. Give him an outfield assist there. And Ben Jones, I think, again, just set up as the cut man, but was able to catch that ball and really just walk up a step or two and tag out Clark as he came by. Associate head coach Travis Beasley is out again to chat, and it may be a short day for Logan Tapman. Although Coach Bees hadn't taken the ball yet. Tapman is the 5th pitcher of the game for Lynchburg, 3rd in the inning. And gave up a base hit and to the only batter he faced, Chris Mitchell. Yeah, Logan Tapman, a little bit of a longer conversation, but his day is done. So it will be 4 pitchers in 1 inning for Lynchburg. And the stopper is on. Jack Batchmore coming in to try to put out this fire for Virginia Wesleyan. It's been a 3-run inning so far. The Hornets will turn to Jack Batchmore here in the top of the fourth. Another guy that can pitch in any situation. We've seen him later on in games this year. But Batch is ready whenever and wherever you give him the call. Jack Batchmore, a guy that has actually started multiple NCAA regional games. One a couple years ago and one last year. Very effective as a starter and out of the bullpen, regardless of inning. It doesn't need to be in the 8th or the 9th for Jack Batchmore to get switched on. He's always ready. Anytime you call for him, hand him the baseball, he's going to get it going. So we'll step aside for a breather here while Batchmore warms up. It's a 4-2 Virginia Wesleyan advantage. Top of the fourth inning here at Fox Field on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. Sixth pitcher of the game for Lynchburg, and the fourth of the inning. It's Jack Batchmore on with 2 away. Hornets have gotten outs via the sacrifice bunt and then a 7-5 put out on the previous base hit. Chris Mitchell roped one into left field. Neves might have been just trying to get the ball into the cut man's glove. That was Ben Jones at third, but he stepped up and tagged out the runner trying to advance from first to third. And now there's 2 gone. It's a 4-2 Marlin lead. Ball 1. Batchmore will miss high with ball 2. This is Jalen Hines. 1 for 2 with a leadoff home run. Started the game with the long ball to right. Jack Batchmore on. 2-0 with 2 saves already this season. He has been absolutely dominant. He's fallen behind 3-0 here, though. Batchmore pitched 2 innings in the win in Game 1 against Roanoke on Saturday. He has been pretty consistent as far as his performances and also his appearances. Lynchburg going to him for a couple innings, seems like each weekend, and then also in a midweek game. Pretty regular work for the senior from Alexandria. He'll get the count back to full now. 3-2 with 2 gone. Batchmore pitches in the mid-80s with the fastball. He can juice it up a little bit from time to time, but great control, great movement. Breaking stuff is pretty effective, and it all comes from the left side. That big, tall frame helps as well. He can really get some depth on the 2-seam fastball and the changeup. Can make them move just enough. It's just funky enough from that left side, too. He's set and ready to go here on another full count delivery. Hines fouled off the last one. This breaking ball will miss in the dirt. Fiedler almost had a play at third. Couldn't quite scramble to it in time. And Chris Mitchell will advance to third. Mitchell 1 for 1 on the day with the 2 RBIs earlier in this inning. So Batchmore has walked his first hitter, Sam Caspro, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to short. Is up in this inning that has been very, very long. That's a statistical one that we should probably keep track of more. You always time when the game starts, but you never think about how long an inning takes. It's been 4 pitchers in the inning for Lynchburg. So you've had 3 changes in there for the new arm to get loose. And then you combine that with a bunch of base runners for Virginia Wesleyan, and it has turned into probably at least a half-hour long inning, maybe more than that. Batchmore's trying to get Lynchburg out of it, and they're very much in striking distance. It's only a 2-run game right now. Fiedler will pump fake to second on the stolen base. No throw there, planned play. And it looks like a 2-1 count now. for Sam Caspro. Batchmore is 11-4 in his career, and that's 45 appearances. 13 of those are starts. And I mentioned he's gotten the ball in some big starts, some playoff games. Nice breaking ball there. It must have been a 2-strike count as Fiedler will body that up, throw to first, and the inning, which was long, will come to an end. Virginia Wesleyan scores 3 on 3 base hits. They leave 2 on. No Lynchburg errors. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th at Fox Field.
Lynchburg is all about you, your ideas, and your goals. We've got one professor for every 10 students, so you can get all the support you need. In the classroom, in the lab, or in nature, you'll learn by putting yourself out there, and we're right there with you.
We'll see how the Lynchburg offense responds. Hornets went into the inning leading 2-1, now down 4-2 after the 3-run scoring outburst from the Virginia Wesleyan Marlins that featured 3 hits, 2 left on in there. There was a hit batter and a couple walks from Lynchburg. All told, it was 4 pitchers for the Hornets. Wesley Arrington started the inning, officially pitched to 3 batters, a third of an inning, got an out on a sacrifice bunt. Then it was Austin Riney. Then it was Logan Tapman. And finally, Jack Batchmore comes in to end the inning for Lynchburg. Batchmore, the 6th pitcher. You have to think at this point now Lynchburg wants Batchmore to go multiple innings. But we'll wait and see. Jackson Harding will lead off for the Hornets. RBI double in his first at bat. Jackson Harding, the grad student from Keysville, just under 300 on the season. Been in the lineup quite a bit more. He'll roll this one to second base. Sunday hop there that hit the second baseman in the belt and then throws to first to retire Jackson Harding. Holden Fiedler up now, 389 on the season. Leader in average amongst players who qualify for the Lynchburg Hornets. Sean Pokorak has 3 hits in 5 at-bats, so he's hitting .600. Mason McDowell has 3 hits in 6 at-bats, so he's hitting .500, but not enough at-bats to truly qualify for the average lead there. And Holden Fiedler's just going to beat out an infield single. Fiedler, obviously not known for his speed as a catcher, but he was hustling down the line and beat that throw. Throw was down, but Fiedler beat it anyway. So that's a single there to bring up Carson Atkins. Man on for Lynchburg. It's their 3rd hit of the ball game thus far. Atkins struck out in his first at bat. Mentioned he's been swinging a hot bat lately, last 5 games. Hitting .467. He's hit safely in 11 of 16 games this season. He's reached base in 13 of 16. So Carson Atkins, pretty dependable down there at the bottom of the order. He's hitting that number 9 hole spot every game this season. And there you see him show a piece of his arsenal that he's really good at. The bunt does pull that one back on a pitch that was very wide from Micah Fox, who's out there in his 4th inning of work for Virginia Wesleyan. And again, other than the hit batters, Micah Fox has pitched pretty effectively. Gave up the triple to Collins and the double to Harding. But an infield single there to Fiedler is not something the pitcher is going to feel too bad about. 2-1 count now on Carson Atkins. Atkins got under that one. Wind could make it a little tricky for Virginia Wesleyan, but it's hauled in by the second baseman, Sam Caspro, for out number 2. Here comes the leadoff man, Cam Lane. Hit in his last at bat. He is the all-time career leader in that category for the University of Lynchburg. You just have a feeling like it's not the last time Cam Lane will be hit in his career. He does crowd the plate, but it's interesting that a left-hander owns that stat for Lynchburg because typically it's the same arm side batter that's going to get hit. A lefty would hit lefties more, righty would hit righties more. And when you do the math, there's usually more right-handed pitchers than there are lefties. That's why I think it's interesting that a left-hander does own that. But that speaks to Cam Lane's longevity. He's played a lot of games. That's part of holding a record like that. He's been hit 49 times in his Lynchburg career. Got hit 19 times last season. And it's not, probably something that he wants to be known for. Maybe he does. I don't know. Maybe we need to ask Cam Lane what he thinks about his career hit-by-pitch record. He's a good hitter, too. Had a 13-game hitting streak at one point last year. Comes into the game batting .281. Swings and misses at that off-speed pitch that just kind of disappeared from the bottom of the zone. And now it's 2-2 with 2 gone in the bottom of the 4th. Lynchburg would love to answer with a run here. Wesleyan with 3 in the top of the 4th. Psychology-wise, it's always great to come back with a run of your own after you give up a big inning like that. Fastball up and away, runs the count full. Fiedler will get the head start at first. Got on earlier in the inning via the infield single. Cam Lane, 9 hits on the season so far, 3 of them doubles. Runner on the move. He got hit again. That's 50 now in the career for Cam Lane. And again, it's not a situation where he's leaning in and sticking the elbow out, trying to roll into one. I mean, that's just a pitch at his feet. You could tell he was in some pain there as Cam Lane takes the base, but some frustration there. 50 career hit-by-pitch for Cam Lane. Josh Jorman up, and he's been hit twice in the game, too. It's left-handers as well that the righty Micah Fox is hitting a lot of. But really, when you break it down, Micah Fox has hit a lot of batters. He's hit 6. He's faced 19 batters, 19 plate appearances for Lynchburg. Micah Fox has hit 6 Hornets. Jorman's got himself to a 2-0 count. He has really been feasting on pitchers lately. Let's see if Josh Jorman can sink his teeth into something. He's been hit twice. I'm sure another hit batter for him, and he would be really frustrated. Although you'd love to load the bases and keep the inning going for Avery Neves. But at some point, you're a hitter with the bat in your hands. You want to swing it. Jorman will get that one, but doesn't get enough of it. Could be a tough play here. It will drop in. 1 run will score. Fiedler's in. Going to be a play at second maybe. Jorman will slide in head first. He was hustling the whole way. It's going to look like a line drive in the scorebook. Not exactly what Josh Jorman had in mind when he took the cut, but it's a base hit with an RBI for number 25 for Lynchburg, and the hot streak continues, and you get to pass the baton to the All-American Avery Neves. 2 in scoring position for Neves, who has flown out twice in this game. You got to have a feeling that he is ready. He is ready to do some damage. Jorman at second. Cam Lane at third. 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Micah Fox nearly hit Avery Neves there as he turns the body, and it just misses the back of the hamstring there, the left leg of Avery Neves. 1-0 count now. Jorman takes the lead at second after the bloop RBI single. Neves will swing on that one and belt it into left field. 1 run is in. Jorman rounding third. No play at the plate. They wanted to keep Neves off second. and Lynchburg takes the lead right back. The psychology of trying to answer their big inning with a big inning of your own has happened. Avery Neves with a base hit, so he'll start another reached base streak there with the 2 RBI single into left field, and now you're going to get a pitching change for Virginia Wesleyan. Micah Fox's day is done. We'll step aside for a breather here. It's a 5-4 ball game in the bottom of the 4th at Fox Field on LHSN.
This is the dough. It's wicked cute. It's always so pretty.
Number 39, Nick Beatty, is on for Virginia Wesleyan. Another Virginia Beach guy, a freshman right-handed pitcher. 6 feet, 180 pounds. He'll have to face Ben Jones, another freshman, with Avery Neves at first base there. Neves with the single, knocking in 2. Had his long reached base streak snapped. Avery Neves had reached base in 63 consecutive ball games, fans. It was every game last season for Lynchburg, but had that streak snapped on Saturday in Game 2 against Roanoke. But Neves will just start a new one now. Now it's here's the number: 113 out of 116 that Neves has reached base in a Lynchburg uniform, and he gets on with the single there, 2 RBI. That is runs driven in 14 and 15 of the season for Avery Neves. So no need to worry about the All-American. And Avery Neves is second in Lynchburg history in RBI. He needs 188 RBI to tie Steven Scott's record. Right now, Neves sitting on 149 runs driven in. So there's another all-time record that Neves is approaching. He's already got several. He's second all-time in stolen bases, a threat to run. Just that combination of power and speed for Avery Neves is impressive. He is the all-time home run leader at Lynchburg, and he's second in stolen bases. That's just incredible to think about. And Avery Neves is over there at first base right now for Ben Jones, who's got a 1-0 count. Jones might be the next power man. Neves will take off, and he'll add to that stolen base total. 48th all-time swiped bag for Avery Neves. So he just continues to add to his mind-boggling file of stats. You need an entire page to total up all the crazy records that Avery Neves has and all the things that he's done. 1-1 the count on the lefty Ben Jones, who would love to drive in Avery Neves. That one will miss up and away. Nick Beatty is the pitcher now for Virginia Wesleyan. Micah Fox is done after 3 2/3. He hit 6 batters. Other than the hit batters, really probably had to like what Micah Fox gave you as a Virginia Wesleyan fan. Jones will watch another one miss out of the zone, and now it's a 3-1 count for a guy who can really punish the baseball. A double and 2 homers already in the career for Ben Jones, just his 5th game. He'll let the breaking ball go by. They called a balk. It's a balk. That's why Jones, I think, really didn't offer it that one. Balk on Nick Beatty will send Avery Neves to third. Pitch doesn't count. Yeah, it's just a 3-1 count still. And a good hitter's count for Ben Jones. And he got to see the breaking ball, too. Ball 4. We'll send Ben Jones to first, and it will send Riley O'Donovan to the plate. O'Donovan's 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch. He'll check the wristband that he keeps in the back pocket. That's how Lynchburg signaling in the plays. Possible steal, hit and run. And you could also sign in just your take the first pitch sign there, or swing away your green light. That might even be something simpler, though, from Coach Lucas Jones, as he'll send some more numbers in. A lot of players will hook the wristband in between the belt, and they'll have it just below the belly button on the belt, looking down that way. Some players still wear the wristband on the arm. It's funny that we still call it a wristband, even if you don't wear it on your wrist. It's still a wristband, like Riley O'Donovan's got it in the back right pocket. Maybe it should be something else. It's the play sheet is what it is. There's another pickoff attempt for Virginia Wesleyan. Keeping a close eye on Ben Jones, number 21, the freshman, reached on the walk. 1-0 count here on Riley O'Donovan. Hitting .286 on the season. He's driven in 16. Took a good hard hack at that one, but it fell out of the bottom of the zone. Virginia Wesleyan pitching numbers this year, kind of deceiving. The ERA is elevated for the team. They're giving up a lot of runs, but they really don't walk a ton of hitters. As Neves will break in the third base line, and the pitcher, Beatty, throws to first. I think Neves was just trying to bluff and distract the pitcher, Beatty, but Beatty will throw over to first. You can run that play there with a first to third early break, kind of an offense. Combination steal. O'Donovan goes with the pitch and shoots it by the second baseman. Good piece of hitting there from Riley O'Donovan. Didn't try to do too much with it, but got the barrel on it and fired it through the right side of the infield for RBI number 17 on the season. And Lynchburg has now scored 4 in the inning. Riley O'Donovan with the hard base hit to drive in Avery Neves. So Fiedler singled and scored. Cam Lane got hit and scored. Josh Jorman singled, and he has now scored himself. And Avery Neves becomes the 4th Hornet to cross the plate so far in this inning. It's back to a 6-3 lead for Lynchburg. They scored 2 in the bottom of the second. And that was partly due to this man at the plate right now. Gavin Collins had a triple in that second inning. Collins is 1 for 2 with the triple and a K. 0-1 the count, 2 gone here. Nick Beatty came into the game with 2 outs for Virginia Wesleyan. He's still in the game with 2 outs. Collins will hit this one to deep right. Wind is blowing out that direction. Right fielder under it and does make the grab. That was Jake Ness that pulled it in for Virginia Wesleyan, so the inning is over. Lynchburg, 4 runs on 4 hits. They leave 2 on, but they take the lead back. 6-4 Hornet advantage heading to the top of the 5th.
Think a private education is too expensive? Think again. At the University of Lynchburg, you can get a personalized education for the cost of a state school. If you're commuting and you get our top scholarships, you could pay much less. And you get all that without the hassle of giant lecture halls. Our faculty know your name here and do more than just teach. You might even do research together and plan out your next career moves. Every great college has a great city. For Lynchburg, we are near urban areas with lots of restaurants, shopping, and events. Plus, we are one of the top schools in the area. Come see for yourself.
Trent Henchy due up now for Virginia Wesleyan. It'll be Henchy, Cinco, and Hall facing Jack Batchmore. In out of the bullpen is the 4th pitcher last inning for Lynchburg. It was a 3-run inning for Virginia Wesleyan, but the Hornets did answer in their half of the 4th inning with a 4 spot of their own. A 6-4 Hornet advantage right now in a game that is turning into a high-scoring affair here in the top of the 5th. Batchmore missing with the fastball, 1-2 the count. Lynchburg is 3 of 7 with 2 outs, 429 with 2 outs, and that's big. 2-out hitting is one of those stats that coaches will look at and talk about as a separator between the good teams and the great teams. Those good teams seem to find a way to keep those innings going. A bouncing ball gets by the bare hand of Batchmore, and then Gavin Collins gave a dive after it. Good hustle, but can't get there. And it's a leadoff single for Hinchy. He's aboard for the first time today. Matt Cinco, a single and a run scored. 1 for 2 on the day. Batchmore has been lights out all season for Lynchburg. 2-0 with 2 saves. Everything out of the bullpen so far this season, but again, he is a guy that has started in the past. It's 13 career starts for Batchmore, and they've come in some really big moments as well. So I don't know that we've necessarily seen the last of his starting days, but so far he's been that closer stopper kind of a guy for Lynchburg. I like that stopper term because that kind of implies you'll come in any time in the game, which is what Batchmore will do. Closer, that term sort of implies you're coming in late in the game, 7, 8, and 9. But Batchmore can do it all. And, you know, he walked Jalen Hines, his first batter. That was actually his first walk since February. Batchmore hadn't walked anybody since February 28th. He'll get the K here. Matt Cinco down swinging for out number 1. So Batchmore's faced 4. He struck out 2 of them. Walk and a single in there as well. Yeah, Batch's control had been really, really good. And maybe I shouldn't tell you when the last time he surrendered a run is. I don't know if I want to jinx it or not, but I'll go ahead and tell you. Batchmore has not given up a run since February 19th, as we get a few chuckles from the rest of the crew here in the press box, which is fabulous. Runner goes. Fiedler throws, and they got him. Oh, Harding maybe bobbled it briefly there. Throw was right where you want it as a catcher. Basically knee height right there for Jackson Harding to catch. Head first slide by Trent Hinchy. Might have got around the tag. Hard for us to tell from our vantage point there. But he's at second with the stolen base. And we kind of got caught in the middle of telling you the crazy stat about Batchmore as this ball will get fouled to the backstop by Connor Hall. Has not surrendered a run since February 19th. That is 15 2/3 shutout innings for Jack Batchmore. Number 48, the senior from Alexandria. Off-speed pitch there that Hall way out in front of. 1-2 the count. I don't really subscribe to the announcer jinx theory and something like that. It's not a no-hitter kind of a thing anyway, so I think you can talk about the scoreless streak. This Batchmore will check the runner at second. This one fouled away by Connor Hall. He's 1 for 2 with a single. Wesleyan had the one hit, the leadoff homer, top of the first. That was their only hit for a while, and then they picked up 3 base hits in the top of the 4th inning. And now it's 5 total for the Marlins from Virginia Beach. Another foul ball here as Hall is putting together a good at bat. Seeing some more pitches from Batchmore. So we're getting more sunshine at Fox Field. You can see that on your screen there. Wind is still up, though. Wind is still a factor. Ball hit to second. Harding with the catch and then diving for the tag, and he got him. Outstanding play there by Jackson Harding. He kind of got the feet going a little bit before the ball got to him, almost the same way you would do on a relay throw or a double play turn. Harding had that on the line drive, and it was able to dive to the bag and beat Hinchy back. Double play there for Lynchburg, and the inning is over. 1 hit, none left on, no Lynchburg errors, and the Hornets lead 6-4 heading to the bottom of the 5th. Due up for Lynchburg, the man that just made the outstanding defensive play, Jackson Harding, number 2. Stepping up, he is 1 for 2 with the double in his first at bat. And what a fantastic play there. Obviously, there's some chance involved, some luck. The line drive basically hit right at Jackson Harding. He's already playing a little bit towards second to keep an eye on the runner there, not holding him on, but keeping him close as the second baseman. And the line drive right into his glove. I mentioned it was great footwork to actually build up a little momentum to the second base bag before he caught the ball. He'll send this one deep into left, but under it and caught by Chris Mitchell. And there is one gone here in the bottom of the 5th for Lynchburg. Holden Fiedler, 1 for 1 on the day. He was one of those hit batters in there as well. Fiedler singled and scored the first run of that big inning, last inning, the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 the count here on Holden Fiedler, who the scouting report coming into the season was that he was the better defensive catcher and more of a defensive guy. You hope he just kind of gives you some hits here or there, but he has really turned into an offensive machine. Enters the game at 389. And you probably, he's driven in 71 in his career. He's got 120 hits in his career. So you knew you were going to get something offensively from Fiedler, but I think so far his first part of the season has probably exceeded expectations a little bit. He is a good player. Well-rounded, understands all the parts of the game, and a good hitter too. Swings at that high fastball though, down on strikes, and just like that, we've got 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Carson Atkins steps up, 0 for 2. You've been one of the hotter bats coming into the game for Lynchburg, so we'd certainly like to continue that. Atkins, 7 hits in the last 5 games. 2 of those are homers. And he's reached base successfully in 13 of 16 games this year, so he'll look to keep that number high. Fouls off the bunt. Now it's 0-2 on Atkins. Nick Beatty back out there for Virginia Wesleyan. He relieved Micah Fox, who pitched 3 2/3. So now it's officially 1 inning for Nick Beatty. 1 1/3 if he can get out of it right here with Atkins. Fastball that just missed upstairs. Nick Beatty, this is his 7th appearance. He's 0-2 on the season. He has started 2 himself. He's pitched 12 innings. And the ERA is hovering just above 4 for Nick Beatty. Batters hitting just 233 off Nick Beatty. So it's another one where the numbers are pretty good. The ERAs are up for Virginia Wesleyan. But they've got some deceptive, sneaky good numbers. Nick Beatty's got a full count now on Carson Atkins. Swing and miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Nick Beatty. And just like that, Lynchburg is done pretty quickly in the bottom of the 5th. Hornets lead 6-4. We head to the 6th inning here at Fox Field, campus of the University of Lynchburg.
Get your career in the game by enrolling in the University of Lynchburg MBA program with an emphasis in sport management. This program opens the doors to new possibilities for a variety of careers, from being an athletic director or working in athletic administration to working for professional organizations, your favorite team, to running a local Parks and Rec department. And employers are increasingly requesting and preferring individuals who have postgraduate education, specifically looking for an MBA. And so the University of Lynchburg Sport Management concentration in the MBA program sets you up for success, and it sets you apart from the many other people looking for jobs in the industry. Learn from winners. Here you will learn from professors and mentors who have spent their careers doing exactly what you want to do. Increase your marketability in an $83 billion industry. If you have a 3.0 GPA, the GMAT is waived.
Jake Ness is in the game. He's playing right field for Virginia Wesleyan. He did not start the game. Jake Ness came in after the injury to Michael Burton, who tried to run down Gavin Collins' triple. And you get Jake Ness, who has a successful sacrifice bunt in this one. That was part of the big inning in the top of the fourth for Virginia Wesleyan. It was a leadoff single and then back-to-back singles, and Jake Ness here bunted the runners into scoring position. But it'll be his first at-bat against Jack Batchmore. Batchmore is on here for his second full inning of work. He came in to get the third out in that long fourth inning that featured 4 Lynchburg pitchers. Batchmore is the 6th arm that the Hornets have used, and we suspected that he would go long. We suspected he would go multiple innings. Now the question we maybe should start asking is, will Batchmore finish the game out? Certainly capable of doing it. Now, if you go that route, you may not have Batchmore available for the weekend series against Washington and Lee. These are all things that coaches think about all the time. I mean, the hamster is always spinning around the wheel. What a dive and a stop there from Jorman Batchman to cover, but he can't get over there in time. Bobbled the ball, but it was going to be Ness beating it down there anyway. That's an infield single. Great stop by Jorman just to have a chance. Batchmore, tough for a lefty. You're falling the wrong direction, and maybe off the bat you might assume that ball is going to get through, and then Batchmore had to try to hustle over to beat Ness to the bag and couldn't. So Jake Ness is on after a leadoff single. Here's a base hit bunt attempt. Batchmore will field. Not running hard out of the box, John Bastians. He's out at first. I think he stumbled coming out of the box. Batchmore might have had him anyway. Here comes a substitute in the game for Virginia Wesleyan. This is Keegan Magaro in the game. Magaro we'll get his numbers for you in a second here as we get all the paperwork and everything situated. Hitting 160 on the season. This will be appearance number 10. Game number 10 played for Magaro. Batchmore's got a runner at second with 1 away. Lynchburg got the out at first base there on the bunt attempt by Bastians. He couldn't get out of the box as quickly as he would have liked, but again, it may not have mattered. Runner at second in a 2-run ball game. Batchmore misses up. You can tell a little bit of frustration there. Batch maybe not quite with the pinpoint control that he's used to. But if anybody can get it figured out, he can. There is a little bit of activity in the Lynchburg bullpen. So that hypothetical question that I was just speculating out loud, how long will Lynchburg let Batchmore go? If you do let Batch finish the game, he's probably unavailable for the weekend doubleheader against Washington and Lee. That was the point that I was trying to get around to making. And it's different for every pitcher. I mean, we probably shouldn't assume that would prohibit Batchmore from throwing this weekend, but that's just kind of the conventional way of thinking. Man, that one just missed the edge there. Great spot, though, for Batchmore. Full count on the substitute, Magaro, who's in the game off the bench, second sub for Virginia Wesleyan. Runner takes off. Swing and a miss for out number 2. So Ness is 90 feet away for Chris Mitchell, who's 1 for 1 so far on the day. Driven in a run. Driven in 2, actually. Mitchell drove in 2 with the single in that big 4th inning. 3-run 4th inning for Virginia Wesleyan. It'll be Mitchell's first at bat against Batchmore. Good steep breaking ball in there for a strike. That one had a lot of depth. That's tough to see for Mitchell as a right-hander because it starts so far up and out. You just don't think there's any way it could get back in the zone. There's a swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. How about this from Batchmore digging deep? Missed with the fastball a little bit earlier in the inning. And you go to the off-speed stuff. Sometimes in a strange way you can almost control that better as a pitcher. 0-2 the count. See if they go back to it. Slashed up the middle, and that's a base hit. The scoreless streak is over for Jack Batchmore. And Chris Mitchell is on with his second hit of the ball game. 9-hole hitter has been a spark plug for Virginia Wesleyan. That's his third run driven in. Jalen Hines is back up. He led off the game with a homer. He's walked once, popped up to the catcher on a bunt attempt. And he has faced Batchmore. This is back around to the top of the lineup again for Jack Batchmore. 2 gone here in what is now a 1-run ball game. Very competitive game. You sort of assume that with all the ODAC games, the conference games, regardless of record, seem to always be close, always keep you interested. And Lynchburg really doing a nice job of answering Wesleyan's big inning with a big one of their own. Good teams do that. Good teams find a way to get around those bad innings because they happen to everybody, but those good teams seem to survive them a little bit more. Good teams can win those close games, those low-scoring games, and the good teams can win those blowout and high-scoring games as well. Batchmore will give another toss over there to Chris Mitchell, the left fielder for Virginia Wesleyan. 2 for 2 with 3 driven in for Mitchell. He's got a walk in there as well. Swung on by Hines, floated foul over the Lynchburg dugout. Ben Jones, the third baseman, gave chase initially, but never got pushed back in by the wind. The wind is blowing out to right center and right field still, pretty consistently all day. It's been a windy spring at Fox. And this is not the worst of the wind that we've had, but this is a solid 5.5 or 6 on the wind scale. It's probably in that 10 to 20 mile an hour range. Batchmore misses with that one. Got to get a payoff pitch here. Full count, 2 away. Hines rips another. This one might not stay in. Lane going back, and it is gone. Jalen Hines has left the yard for the second time today, and this one will give Virginia Wesleyan the lead back in the top of the 6th. A 2-run blast to right field. This one was deeper than the first one. Jalen Hines puts the Marlins back on top. Wow. Jalen Hines has doubled his season home run total. Came into the game with 2, and he's gone deep twice in this one. Jalen Hines had a hit yesterday against Salisbury, so it's been a really good 24-hour stretch for the leadoff man from Virginia Wesleyan. Batchmore's in there quickly, 0-2 on Sam Caspro. 7-6, the Marlin lead. There's a breaking ball in the dirt. Fiedler will throw to first. The inning is over, but not after big damage is done. 3 runs on 3 Marlin hits. No Lynchburg errors, none left on. And Virginia Wesleyan takes the lead back as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
Want to have some outdoor adventures while getting a degree at the same time? At the University of Lynchburg, we have an on-campus zip line and road course. Plus, we offer adventure trips that cost less than a cup of coffee. And did I mention our beautiful scenery? We're a university for students looking for something more than just books. Welcome to your new adventure experience.
A 2-run home run from Jalen Hines. It's a 3-run inning for Virginia Wesleyan, and they snatched the lead back 7-6. Marlins just 3 wins on the season, but that record pretty misleading because of the level of competition they've played. This is game number 9 against a ranked opponent this season for Virginia Wesleyan. They played 3 against Eastern Connecticut State, who's still ranked number 2 in the country. They've played 2 against Salisbury, who is number 4 currently, and 3 against Rowan University, who's number 11 in the country. And Lynchburg ranked 12th in the nation. So Virginia Wesleyan's got a meat grinder of a schedule, and they've got some close games in there as well. They do have the one tie. Virginia Wesleyan 3-13-1. They're 2-1-1 in ODAC play. That tie was with Guilford. This is game number 18 of 37 for Virginia Wesleyan. Lynchburg, it's game 17 of 40 for the Hornets. They've got 4 more left in March. 2 of those are next week here at Fox Field. Here's a bouncing ball through the hole for Cam Lane. So he's on base a 3rd time today, 2 of them to hit by a pitch, and now Cam Lane's got what he wants, a single, possibly setting up another big inning for Lynchburg. Lynchburg answered the big inning in the 4th. Virginia Wesleyan scored 3 in the top of the 4th. Hornets turned around and scored 4 in the bottom of the 4th. If Lynchburg can do that again, you'd feel really, really good about that. But that's, again, what the good teams do. Josh Jorman will swing at the first pitch. This one's sinking. It'll drop in front of the center fielder. Boy, it took 4 or 5 bounces before finally picked up. Jorman 2 for 2 on the day with 2 hit by pitch. So his hot streak continues. Josh Jorman came into the game hitting .458 in the last 5 games. That number is only going to go up. What a 6-game stretch for Josh Jorman. And hopefully he can continue that. Just carry it on off the sheet throughout the year, Jorman. Great stuff there. And fabulous play at first base, too, for Josh Jorman. We probably don't really mention his defense enough. And he pitches, too. Pitched a great game last week at Greensboro for Lynchburg. Well, let's give the full attention to Avery Neves, especially when he's got a 1-0 count. Neves singled, drove in a couple in his last at bat. Good running fastball there from Nick Beatty will come across the inside part of the plate for a strike. 1-1. For the All-American, Avery Neves. Back-to-back spots as a first-team All-American. There's a breaking ball. Good job by Beatty. Again, another one of those guys. The previous pitch, the 1-0 pitch, moved into the body, into the hands of Neves. That one, a little cutter that moves away. Just subtle movement there. 1-2 the count. Another balk. Another balk. Yeah, home plate umpire called the balk as Beatty was delivering. Runners will move up 90 feet. And they're a little bit closer for Avery Neves. A chance to drive in 1 or 2 more. He's driven in 15 on the season. It should be a 1-2 count, I believe. The balk won't count as a pitch there. And that fastball misses up and in. Yeah, so it should be 2-2 the count now, I think. I'm saying that kind of with a question mark at the end of it. Yeah, nobody away. We know that. We know it's a 7-6 game. We got all the big numbers right. Neves will hit this one up the middle. Shortstop will dive. 1 more in for Lynchburg. Game is tied. Jorman will come around and score. 2 more driven in for Avery Neves. The All-American does it again. Those great players step up when you need them to. Another one where didn't have to bang it off the wall or hit it in the outfield grass to do the job. Just shoots it right back past the pitcher. Good effort on the dive by the shortstop. But Neves is on first with 2 more RBI, another base hit. 3 straight singles here for the Lynchburg offense. They take the lead right back. They've answered the big inning again on top 8-7. And then we'll get to talk about Avery Neves being a dangerous base runner at first base again. That is RBIs number 150 and 151 in the career for Avery Neves. 151 driven in. Those stats unofficial. Anytime I give you a stat, fans, consider it unofficial, and then you go to the website to get the official stuff. But 151 driven in for Avery Neves as he gets back to the base standing up. 188 is the Lynchburg record. Steven Scott, that's a guy that head coach Lucas Jones played with. That was an era when Lynchburg's offense was just absolutely out of this world. They led the nation in team batting average one year there. I think Coach Lucas Jones had 77 hits that season. They led the nation in batting average. It may have actually been the next year, because they were pretty good, Coach Jones' entire career here. And, in fact, anytime you look at these records that Neves is breaking. A lot of the current record holders are guys in that era, offensively anyway, because Lynchburg had some really good hitters in that time frame. 2-1 count now on the current really good hitters right now, the current record holders and record setters and trend setters like this freshman Ben Jones. Neves will have to scramble back to first again. Beatty keeping a close eye on him, and with good reason. Avery Neves is the second all-time in stolen bases here at Lynchburg. So the combination of power and speed for Avery Neves. They'll throw over on him again. Neves back standing up. It's probably now into annoyed territory for Avery Neves as he runs back to the base multiple times on the pickoff attempt. Neves will take off. Inside fastball, good one to throw on, but they're not going to get Neves. Went in feet first there. Good hard slide, good hard tag. And Neves has got another stolen base. The all-time stolen base counter now up to 49 for Avery Neves. I don't think he's going to catch the all-time leader in that one. I was doing the research there. He'll need a lot more to get to the leader there, but we'll discuss in just a moment. Ben Jones will take a fastball for a strike. Full count here with nobody away. So still a chance for a very big inning for Lynchburg. They've already scored 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Looking for more here with Ben Jones. Jones will swing and foul that one away. Let me just throw another one, since we're talking all these numbers. Let me throw another one out there for Avery Neves on the stolen base category. He's stolen 49 in his career. He's only been caught stealing 5 times. He's been thrown out 5 times. Talk about efficiency. Jones will foul another one back, putting together a good long at bat here. Get some confirmation and some positive vibes from head coach Lucas Jones down there in the third base coach's box. Ben Jones and Lucas Jones, no relation. Ben Jones from the Raleigh area, Jordan High School, a high school teammate with Brandon Garcia, the outstanding freshman shortstop for Lynchburg, who hadn't been in the lineup for a while with injury, but we can't wait to see Brandon Garcia again. And Jones is still there, hacking away, full count. Another 3-2 pitch coming from Nick Beatty. 3 straight singles so far in the inning for Lynchburg. None away here. Cam Lane led it off with a bouncer through the right side. Josh Jorman dropped one in front of the center fielder. And then Avery Neves with a 5-hopper that got through the infield up the middle. There's the walk. Great at bat from Ben Jones. It's back-to-back walks from Jones. And back to what we said about hitters. Yeah, they want to swing the bat, but that'll make you feel really nice when you foul a bunch of pitches off and you take a good walk like that. Good stuff. Nick Beatty's day is done. I thought he pitched pretty effectively, but the afternoon is over, and we'll get a new arm coming in for the Virginia Wesleyan Marlins, who had the lead but lost it again. 8-7, Hornets on top here in the bottom of the 6th.
When creating a sustainable future, your choices matter, even your choice of a college. The University of Lynchburg is the first college in Virginia to go carbon neutral. Our dining hall is green restaurant certified. We compost all of our food waste and purchase our electricity from landfill gas. Now we're turning a hazardous lake into a thriving urban wetland. When you choose Lynchburg, you leave a smaller footprint while building a better tomorrow.
It'll be the 10th appearance of the season for the left-hander, Sal Lettieri, out of the bullpen for Virginia Wesleyan. He's another guy that has started one, but most of the appearances coming out of the pen here for Lettieri, who is a sophomore left-handed pitcher from North Carolina. Opponents are hitting 341 off Lettieri. He struck out 7 and walked 7 in 10 innings of work. Micah Fox started it for Virginia Wesleyan. Nick Beatty pitched into the bottom of the 6th. Hasn't recorded an out here yet, though, as Lettieri wakes up with runners on 1st and 2nd and nobody gone here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Facing some really good hitters for Lynchburg. I mean, you can say that about the entire lineup, and you can extend it to some guys that aren't in the lineup. Lynchburg's offense pretty potent, and it really goes pretty deep, at least in my opinion anyway. Here comes Riley O'Donovan. Got a single and an RBI. He's hit by a pitch in his first at bat, and he flew out to center field. O'Donovan is a run-driving-in machine, too. Drove in 31 last year. Hit 385 last season with 7 doubles and 5 homers. He had 10 multi-hit games last year. He'll watch the first one go by from the left-hander, Lettieri. Single for Cam Lane to start the inning. Josh Jorman singled, Avery Neves singled, and a walk from Ben Jones. 2 on with nobody away here in the bottom of the 6th. Virginia Wesleyan is 3-13-1. Lynchburg 13-3 this year. A loss to Piedmont the first weekend of the season. A loss on the road a couple weeks ago to Christopher Newport. And a loss to Roanoke on Saturday in Game 2 of a doubleheader. O'Donovan out front there. Caps one of the first basemen. He'll take that himself. And there is the first out of the inning to bring up Gavin Collins. Centerville High School for Gavin Collins. We were running down his career stat line. It's pretty darn good and pretty dependable for Gavin Collins, too. You know what you're going to get from him. You're going to get a hit or 2 or 3 a week. One of them's going to be an extra base hit. He's going to play good defense on the left side of the infield. He's going to get hit every now and then and or take a walk as well. That's sort of the MO on Gavin Collins. Has some power, too. This one's not going to have enough power to get Neves in. It is caught at second for out number 2. And now we get Jackson Harding up, 1 for 3 so far today. Made that outstanding defensive play on the double play. He's got a double and an RBI. Jackson Harding, he hit 300 in just 8 games last year. He's right under the 300 mark this season. In fact, a base hit here might push him over that for the season. Takes strike 1 there from the left-hander, Lettieri. Third pitcher for Virginia Wesleyan. Lynchburg has used 6. And it's a question of how many more will they use. Harding will slap that one through the infield. Neves is in. Turn and burn time around third. Nearly a play there. Head first slide by Ben Jones. And that scores 2. Jackson Harding coming through in the clutch there. Another 2-out base hit for Lynchburg. And it's 2 outs with 2 in scoring position. High leverage, kind of a single there from Jackson Harding. And he hit it hard. It didn't have the high launch exit angle there, but it was certainly hit hard. It had some exit velocity for Jackson Harding, who is on first base now with his second hit of the day. Holden Fiedler is 1 for 2 with a single, a strikeout, and hit by a pitch. Harding picked. He's going to try to beat the throw to second. Feet first slide, and he's in. Call it a stolen base there for Jackson Harding. He was going on the first move from the left-handed pitcher. Pitcher Lettieri got the baseball to John Bastions, who seemed to unload pretty quickly and throw a strike, but not in time to get the speedy Jackson Harding, who's now in scoring position for Lynchburg. Fiedler with a chance for another RBI. He's driven in 10 this year so far. The Lynchburg offense, they're in double digits again. 10-7 the score right now. Lynchburg really with some offensive outbursts this season. We'll check that number here in just a second. Find out how many times Lynchburg has gone into double figures with the run total. 10 hits as well on there. That's another thing that has to make the offensive coaching staff feel good. Lucas Jones, Oscar Garcia, and really the entire staff. Extend that. They want to see the guys swing the bat for sure. Pitching coaches want to see their team swing the bat too. Makes life a lot easier. Fiedler will foul that one into the Virginia Wesleyan dugout. Everybody's okay. And it'll be a 1-1 count with 2 away. Lynchburg is 4 for 9 with 2 outs. They're 7 for 15 with runners on. They're 6 of 11 with runners in scoring position. Those are all fantastic numbers for an offense. Uh-oh, that one got under the catcher, Matt Cinco. First ball we've seen hit the backstop today from either catcher. So both guys have been doing really good work there. But it does allow Jackson Harding to get to third. One step closer for Holden Fiedler. Those numbers, Lynchburg is just really getting it done with runners on base, really getting it done with 2 outs. There's a foul ball that came back in our direction. Fiedler was on it but missed, and it's a 2-2 count with 2 away. You don't have to do damage with 2 outs. You can do all your run scoring with nobody out or with 1 out, but it really is a key to being a great team to be able to scratch a few extra runs across with 2 away. You can make those pitchers stay out there longer, have to labor a bit. Team gets deep in their bullpen. The good teams just find a way to score runs with 2 outs or not. Here's another delivery from Lettieri. Fiedler got under that one. Wind could play tricks on it. Center and left converge, and then it's pulled in by Jalen Hines in the left center gap. But another great inning for Lynchburg, another 4 spot. They scored 4 in the bottom of the 4th. They do it again here in the bottom of the 6th. Hornets lead 10-7 at Fox Field.
Lynchburg is all about you, your ideas, and your goals. We've got one professor for every 10 students, so you can get all the support you need. In the classroom, in the lab, or in nature, you'll learn by putting yourself out there, and we're right there with you.
We're getting some of our questions answered, fans. Jack Batchmore is back out there for Lynchburg, and he goes back out with a lead, 10-7. Here's a ball in the gap. What a play by Neves. What a play by Avery Neves. He ran a long way. Carson Atkins, the center fielder, was set up in the right center gap, expecting opposite field contact by Henchy, and Avery Neves just did long-haul trucking to get over there in that gap. You got to remember the wind is a factor too, fans. The wind would have been pushing that ball away from Avery Neves. But there you have it. Again, the All-American. He can impact the game in so many ways. It's just incredible. He's got an outfield assist in this game as well. It was kind of a weird play. I'm not even sure he was trying to throw the runner out, but he got it on target to the cut man, Ben Jones, at third. And they made the tag. So then you see outstanding speed and glove work from Avery Neves. Just so good. I mean, it blows you away. That's what those good players do. Just when you think they don't have anything left to give, you've seen it all, he just finds a way to pop up and make a great play. We already know about the speed from Avery Neves. We've been talking about his stolen bases, 49 of them in his career. There needs to be a stat like that for diving plays. Need to track that one as well. This is Matt Cinco, the catcher for Virginia Wesleyan. He's facing a full count now against Jack Batchmore. 1 for 3 on the day for Cinco. He'll rip that one into center field. Carson Atkins is giving chase, won't get there. Threw the glove up. Cinco will round first and cruise into second with a double. A one-out double there for the catcher for the Marlins. Virginia Wesleyan's got 2 extra base hits on the day, fans. Those are both the home runs from Jalen Hines. Now make it 3. Matt Cinco adds a double. Yeah, Jalen Hines, a leadoff homer, and then a 2-run homer in that 6th inning. This is the way that scoring has gone for Virginia Wesleyan. 1 in the first, the leadoff homer, blanked in innings 2 and 3. They scored 3 in the 4th inning, 0 in the 5th, 3 more in the 6th. It adds up to 7. And Virginia Wesleyan is down by 3. Lynchburg has answered really in accordance in the bottom of each of those innings. The exception is Lynchburg did not score in the bottom of the first. They scored 2 in the bottom of the second to take the lead. But an offensive outburst from both ball clubs. For Lynchburg, it is the 5th time they've scored double-digit runs this season by my count. 5 times. I think they did that 24 times last year, which is really nuts when you think about it. I got to double-check that fact, though. Let me get back to you, fans, as Connor Hall fouls that one away. 2-2 count with 1 away here. Jack Batchmore still out there. He actually came in that big 4th inning. He finished it out, got the final out in the top of the 4th, and he's still out there in the 7th. So we were asking the question, would Lynchburg let Batchmore go long? And right now they have. Spin move, pick-off attempt with Jackson Harding there. Runner back in safe. Connor Hall's 1 for 3 so far today as the designated hitter for the Marlins from Virginia Beach. They went to Salisbury last night. Probably just took the bus right down here to Lynchburg after that one. A little 2-day road swing for Virginia Wesleyan. And the Marlins are at home versus Bridgewater Saturday in ODAC play. Lynchburg scheduled to take on Washington and Lee Saturday, but it's looking like that game might be pushed to Sunday. Better weather for Sunday. Here's a ground ball to the right side. Harding is there, glove down, throws across for out number 2. Yeah, I don't think anything's set in stone. The ink is not dry on that one just yet, fans, as far as that scheduling change. But check out lynchburgsports.com for all the info, and we'll update you on the social media stuff as well if you do that. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. #OneNation. Such a great social media presence. So much fun stuff going on here at the University of Lynchburg. Spring sports is so busy. But we find a way to get it all covered. Congratulations to the Lynchburg equestrian team for a championship. They got to ring the bell. And there'll be a lot of other teams this spring looking to do that, win some conference titles and perhaps more. 0-2 the count now. As Batchmore looks to strand a runner at third. Swing and a miss. Yeah, gone there. Big-time K from Jack Batchmore, and the inning is over. 1 hit. That was the double by Cinco, but he's left on. No runs, no Lynchburg errors. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 10-7. Hornets leading the Marlins.
This is the dough. It's wicked cute. It's always so pretty.
Sal Lettieri is back out for Virginia Wesleyan in the bottom of the 7th. We're in those championship rounds now, innings 7, 8, and 9. It's still a 3-run ball game, still anybody's ball game here. Marlins have got to be feeling that way. And if you're Lynchburg, you're looking to add some insurance runs, maybe even just break the game open, try to put it out of reach. Both teams have gone to their bullpen. Lynchburg has used 6 pitchers, but lately it's been Jack Batchmore holding things down. He did lose his long scoreless streak coming into the game, fans. Jack Batchmore had not surrendered a run since February 19th. That was 15 1/3 shutout innings, but that streak is gone now. Sal Lettieri still out there for Virginia Wesleyan. He's the 3rd pitcher of the game. And here we go. Quick change, as it's going to be the guy that we thought was coming on, Charlie Britt. Charlie Britt actually threw a warm-up pitch in between innings, and then they sent Lettieri back out. I think Charlie Britt is on in relief of Sal Lettieri. This is number 10, Charlie Britt, a right-handed junior from Ivor, Virginia, down in the Tidewater area there. And Charlie Britt comes into the game with 3 appearances, 3 innings. ERA's a bit inflated, but Charlie Britt is one of the guys that threw a scoreless inning yesterday against Salisbury. So you do good in one opportunity, and it gets you another opportunity. Charlie Britt threw a scoreless inning against a ranked ball club, and he'll try to do the same here against Lynchburg, although he can just throw 2/3 of an inning to get out of the bottom of the 7th. Will be a pinch hitter coming up for Lynchburg. We saw Logan Webster step up into the dirt circle there. He will be on for Cam Lane. Cam Lane had an interesting day, 1 for 2 with a single and 2 hit by pitch. He gets to add to his career total lead. He is the all-time leader in hit by pitch here at the University of Lynchburg. Well, we get a look at Logan Webster now. Webster's one of those guys that I was alluding to as far as depth Lynchburg has on the bench. Guys they can bring out that are very good. Logan Webster qualifies, a sophomore. He has 15 hits this season, batting .283. He's been in the starting lineup quite a bit, Logan Webster. He's actually hit in the 2-hole this year. He's hit in the 4-hole. Now he'll sub in for Cam Lane. Logan Webster's got 19 career multi-hit games. Number 6, Logan Webster, a Chesapeake, Virginia native. Lynchburg, I was talking about their offense last season. I got the number wrong. I told you never trust my stats. They're unofficial as always. It was 17 times Lynchburg scored double-digit runs last year. They went over the 10-run mark 17 times last season. This is the 5th time they've done it this year. Lynchburg is 13-3. This is game 17 of 40, so not exactly halfway, but closing in on that mark. Strike 1 for the new pitcher and the new hitter. Charlie Britt throwing to Logan Webster. Both guys subbing into the ball game. Webster will turn on one and is send it into left center field, but it's a relatively easy grab there. And Webster's at bat is done after 2 pitches. And Josh Jorman steps up with 2 away. Jorman has been absolutely on fire in the last 6 games. He was 4 for 5 in game 1 versus Roanoke on Saturday. He was a homer shy of the cycle. He had a double, a triple, 2 singles in that one. He drove in 2, and he got 3 runs in that game. And guess what? Josh Jorman's got another hit. Just bops this one over the shortstop's head. He is 3 for 3 in the game with 2 hit by pitch. He's been on 5 times today. Josh Jorman. Just incredible, this streak that he is on right now. Josh Jorman, a senior from Oak Hill, Virginia, James Madison High School, where his father is the coach, Pudge Jorman. I think he's been coaching there for 20-plus years. I want to say that Coach Jorman was an assistant there for a bit at James Madison as well. One of the all-time great coaches in Virginia high school history, I think, and there's so many of them that we can talk about. We talked about a few of them the last time we were here at Fox Field, but Pudge Jorman is right up there. Baseball guy for sure, and his son is putting together a 6-game stretch that has been really hot, and hopefully it doesn't stop for a while. 1-1 count on Avery Neves. Speaking of hot, his whole career he's been that way. Hard to cool this guy off. Number 30, Avery Neves. High velocity on the pickoff attempt by Britt. Nearly got away from the first baseman. 2 away here. Lynchburg holding the 3-run advantage. Avery Neves will belt one over the right fielder's head. This is going to be extra bases, and Jorman's probably going to score from first. Rounding third. Relay throw is not going to be nearly in time, and Avery Neves will slide in for a triple. Wow. Said that you can't cool him off. Avery Neves with the backside power, the opposite field power to go along with all his other accolades and the things that he does. Avery Neves, 5 runs driven in the game. 5 more to add to his total. That is another one he's closing in on the all-time record of. He needs 188 to tie Steven Scott. And Avery Neves is not going to get there this game, but he's getting closer and closer. It's 152 now, runs driven in for Avery Neves. 152. Standing at third, looking to score another run. He's he's second all-time in runs scored in the University of Lynchburg history. It's insane. Everything he does, he's got a record for, it feels like. 2-0 the count now on Ben Jones. He's walked his last 2 plate appearances. Looking for his first hit of the game. 0 for 2 for Ben Jones. Staring another walk in the face here, 3-0. Charlie Britt is the right-handed pitcher. He came into this inning in relief of Sal Lettieri, who got the first out. Jones had to dodge that one, and guess what? It's 3 walks in a row for young Benton Jones from the Raleigh area. Runners at the corners now for Riley O'Donovan. He's got an RBI today, 1 single, 1 for 3 for Riley O'Donovan. Got a hit by pitch in there as well. That was the story of the game early. The hit batters. Micah Fox pitched effectively, but hit 6 of the 20 batters that he faced. And that was a real problem early in the game for Virginia Wesleyan. The last 3 pitchers for the Marlins, Nick Beatty, Sal Lettieri, and Charlie Britt, haven't hit any batters. But they really haven't got enough out as well, as Lynchburg now leading 11-7. Matt Cinco takes a visit to the mound with the pitcher, and the second baseman, Sam Caspro, was in the conversation as well. And now we'll get set to see Riley O'Donovan again. 11-7 ball game here, as Lynchburg has scored over 10 runs for the 5th time this season. There's strike 1. O'Donovan watches it go by. 4th pitcher of the game for Virginia Wesleyan. Lynchburg has used 6. Matfield went 2 to start. Just gave up the solo home run. That was it for Nick Matfield. But not a long appearance. Jones will go. Pump fake by the catcher Cinco. We saw Lynchburg use that same play. And Jones will cruise into second. 2 in scoring position now for Riley O'Donovan. The offensive numbers have been outstanding for Lynchburg, with 2 outs and also with runners in scoring position. The number with runners on ain't shabby either. Ball got away from Cinco a bit, but not far enough for Neves to score. We're in the bottom of the 7th here at Fox Field. Next time we're at home is Tuesday, March 28th. Hampton-Sydney will be in town. That'll be back-to-back home games for us here at Lynchburg. Christopher Newport a week from today, Wednesday, March 28th, or March 29th, excuse me. And that'll end the month of March for Lynchburg's baseball team, barring any schedule changes. There is some rain in the forecast for Saturday, and Lynchburg might push their doubleheader against Washington and Lee in Lexington, might move that to Sunday, but nothing in stone just yet. 2-2 the count now on Riley O'Donovan with 2 gone. O'Donovan will get that one off the handle and foul it back. Another 2-strike pitch coming. Just some great performances in this game. Avery Neves, 3 for 5 with a triple, 5 driven in. Josh Jorman, 3 for 3 with 2 hit by pitch. He's been on base every time. O'Donovan will whiff at that breaking ball outside, and the inning is over, but 1 comes across for Lynchburg. That's on 2 hits and 2 left on. No Wesleyan errors. We go to the top of the 8th inning here at Fox Field.
It's almost April, and you guessed it, Give Day is coming.
It's been 119 years since the university was founded by Josephus Hopwood in April of 1903 with a gift of $100.
We're not asking that everyone give $3,000, though we won't turn you down if you do. How much you give isn't the point. It's that you join in on Give Day to give what you can.
$1 can't buy a cup of coffee, but if we all pitch in, those dollars can help fund some really impressive stuff.
Your help is improving our athletic facilities. I mean, have you seen this scoreboard? It's perfect for games and movie nights.
It may not be flashy, but you've helped update the AC in Hopsigler, and that's huge.
Think about it. We've got a cadaver lab in here.
And if that isn't your thing, this digital anatomy table was also funded with help of people just like you.
Remember when we had problems with the dam? Well, we've been working with the city to replace the old bridge, add the new traffic circle.
And with your support, College Lake is turning into a new urban wetland that students can learn in for years to come.
We keep getting more of our questions answered, fans. Jack Batchmore is back out there to start the top of the 8th. There is activity in the Lynchburg bullpen, but that's what we were wondering, is how long they would let Batchmore go. He's more than capable, but you might burn him for any possible weekend use by letting him pitch deep into the game like he has. But Batchmore, as usual, always effective. He has surrendered a run. First time he's given up a run since February. The date was actually February 19th, the last time anybody scored, when Jack Batchmore had the baseball. But credit Virginia Wesleyan's offense. It was a 2-run homer from Jalen Hines. They've really done a nice job making the most of their chances, Virginia Wesleyan has. Looks like the Marlins have stranded 5. Strikeout there from Batchmore. That's actually back-to-back Ks for Batch. And here comes number 37, Keegan Magaro, back up for his second at-bat of the game. He struck out his first time up. That was against Batchmore. That one just missed. Yeah, here's these numbers again for Lynchburg if you're into the stats. With 2 outs, Lynchburg is hitting .462. With runners on, they're hitting .444. And with runners in scoring position, Lynchburg is hitting .462. Those are the things that good teams do. And that is happening right now for Lynchburg. 3-1 the count, as Batchmore was all around the zone, really with the first 3 pitches, and that one in there for a strike. That's strike 2 on Magaro as he got all the way out of the dirt, a third of the way up the line, but he'll have to come back. Full count now with 1 gone for Batchmore. And that one does miss. Ball 4. Magaro's on. That is the second walk that Batchmore has surrendered in the game. And he came in all the way back in that long 4th inning that Virginia Wesleyan had. That was a 3-run 4th inning for the Marlins, and it was a 4-pitcher inning for the Hornets. Here's a ground ball, possible double play chance. Oh, Collins fumbled, couldn't really get it out of the glove cleanly. Got to it nicely on the move with the glove down. But the transition from leather to palm was incomplete. And it's going to be an error on Gavin Collins at short. Really hasn't had a ton of chances at shortstop. I'm just looking at the book here. Collins had a couple 6-3s in the first inning. Other than that, I'm not sure he's touched a baseball since then, which is odd for a shortstop. Typically, they're going to get a steady dose of work out there on the dirt in between second and third. But now it's runners on first and second for Virginia Wesleyan. Ball was hit well from Chris Mitchell, and I think Collins might have been hurrying a little bit to try to get the double play, which you would assume. Jalen Hines now. He is 2 for 3 with a walk and 2 homers, and he'll try to bunt again. How's that for a skill set? Hines has got 2 homers, and he's trying to drop down bunt singles. And I like it. I mean, I love the guys that have the ability to do that. We can run down the list of major league guys that can do that. A couple of them playing in the World Baseball Classic come to mind, guys like Jose Altuve and Mike Trout. But you just don't see it very much. Hines actually popped up trying to bunt in his second at bat. That might be another reason why you think he wouldn't lay one down. 1-2 the count on Jalen Hines. See how nasty Batchmore gets here against a dangerous hitter. Hines will float that one foul. I thought the first home run was a really great pitch. That was Matfield. It was down and in, right below the knee it looked like, and Hines not only dug it out, he sent it out. With Batchmore, it was a 2-run home run in the 6th inning. Hines will rip that one into center field. 3-hit day for Jalen Hines. Runner got held at third, now will get sent and will come home to score. Slight misplay in the outfield will allow Magaro to come in after his walk and score. So another base hit for Hines. This time just a single, but he ripped it well. I mean, he's putting the barrel on the ball. Jalen Hines came into the game hitting .295. He had a pair of homers coming into the game. He doubled that today. And the RBIs are in double digits now as well for Jalen Hines, number 14. There's a pitch in for a strike for Jack Batchmore. Steady. Batchmore obviously doesn't want to give up runs, but he's not going to be rattled easily. It's an 11-8 ball game, though, back to a 3-run advantage for Lynchburg. Great back-and-forth game. And maybe a slight oversight, fans, but Ryan Long did go in at second base. Don't know if I'd mentioned that yet, but number 4, Ryan Long, is in there playing second, straight sub with Jackson Harding. Harding finishes the day 2 for 4 with 3 RBI. 1-2 the count now for Batchmore. Lefty in the long black sleeves. It was mid-50s to start out here. We had some sunshine, but more clouds now. I think the temperature's probably dropped a bit. Runner going, swing, slight mishandle there by Fiedler. It's a K anyway, and now we've got 2 down. The runners do move up. 4 strikeouts in a row for Sam Caspro. So not exactly how he wanted his day to go. And Trent Henchy is in there now. 1 for 4 with a strikeout. See if Batchmore can limit the damage here. 11-8. Lynchburg leads. Swing and miss there on strike 1. Outfield has Henchy played to pull. Infield does as well. Ryan Long is really pretty deep in that hole towards the first base side. Gavin Collins, the shortstop, is shaded up the middle for Lynchburg. 0-2 the count now. Big pitch coming from Batchmore here. 2 away with the 3-hole hitter. Danger man Trent Henchy. Away target. Target acquired. Direct hit from Batchmore, but Henchy doesn't fish after it. So good pitch there. Good baseball all the way around. Hopefully setting up something else. Can go out there again maybe if you're Batchmore. Go back in. Something down, it looks like, based on the target from Fiedler. He got it there. Great execution of the game plan from Batchmore. Nice job by Fiedler to smother it and then throw down to first for the K. 3 strikeouts in the inning. But Lynchburg does surrender 1 run. RBI single from Jalen Hines. He continues his great day. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning here at Fox Field in Lynchburg.
Think a private education is too expensive? Think again. At the University of Lynchburg, you can get a personalized education for the cost of a state school. If you're commuting and you get our top scholarships, you could pay much less. And you get all that without the hassle of giant lecture halls. Our faculty know your name here and do more than just teach. You might even do research together and plan out your next career moves.
Now on the mound for Virginia Wesleyan, it's Zach Magaro, left-handed thrower in there. He, much like the guy he relieved, Charlie Britt, pitched in the game yesterday against Salisbury for Virginia Wesleyan and threw a scoreless inning. So I like that. Good performance yesterday, gets you another opportunity today, and that's what success does. It just gets you more and more opportunities, and then if you're successful again, you get another opportunity, to move from the bullpen to a starter, and then you're successful as a starter, and the expectations are there that you're going to do it all the time. We've called it the penalty of excellence, and that's basically what it is. Being good at something just means you got to be good at it again and over and over and over again. And can you continue to be consistent becomes the question. Here's a guy that's been fairly consistent in his 3-year career for Lynchburg, Gavin Collins. A triple today, just the 1 hit, 1 strikeout. He popped up to the second baseman and the right fielder. And it looks like one of them is going to get this ball here. Second and right converge, hauled in by Caspro, so it's another F4 for Gavin Collins. Goes after a lot of first pitches, does a lot of damage on the first pitch. It's hard to necessarily fault him for that game plan because, let's face it, a lot of times the first pitch is going to be the best pitch you see in an at-bat. Pitcher's looking to get ahead. Might be a middle kind of a target, not fooling around with an edge there on the first pitch. Or the pitcher might just miss in the middle. Typically it'll be a fastball. Not always, but certainly over 50% first pitches are going to be fastball. I think that's a safe estimate. So don't hate the game plan from Gavin Collins, but he is definitely an early count swinger. And I guess any opponents watching might get a little mini scouting report, but if you're relying on me for the scouting report, then you're already behind the curve. Sorry. It's a 1-1 count, 2-1 count on Ryan Long, who came into the game for Jackson Harding. Hitting under 200 on the season. Got a good start to the year for Ryan Long, but it's kind of fizzled a little bit as of late. The junior from Virginia Beach will swing and miss at that one. A chance to jumpstart the season right here. 2-2 the count with 1 away in the bottom of the 8th. Ryan Long, another one of those guys, more than capable. He's got 3 doubles on the season. You'll watch this one go low. Still a lot of good chatter from Lynchburg. Good shout. Everybody engaged over there. Fans are engaged. We don't have a big crowd today. We'll have to check what the official number was on the fans. That is something they note officially, and you will note that ball left Ryan Long's bat in a hurry, ripped into center field. So there you go, Ryan Long, 1 for 1 off the bench. Good stuff there from number 4. He's on board for Holden Fiedler. Lynchburg talked about that double-digit run total. What about the double-digit hits? They're over that mark, 13 hits. That's 6 of the last 7 games that Lynchburg's gotten double-digit hits. Really good number. And again, it just adds up to success. You can throw out more and more of these numbers, but they just mean that you're going to have a better chance to win the game. Fiedler will pop up to the catcher for out number 2. Carson Atkins, a guy who's still looking for his first hit of the day. See if Carson Atkins can get it going here. 2 down, 2 strike hitting has been very good, or 2 out hitting rather for Lynchburg has been great all day. 6 for 13 with 2 outs. Carson Atkins needs one here. He was one of the guys that we were talking about, all the numbers, all the stats, which are sometimes overrated, but his had been very good in the last 5 games. See if he can keep this little streak going on. Center fielder for Lynchburg can get streaky. He can run a little hot and cold, which I think most hitters do. It's rare that a guy, we get a pickoff attempt, it's rare that you find a hitter who bats .250 on the season and he was 1 for 4 every game. I mean, it just never happens. It's usually you have a couple offers, you have some multi-hit games in there, you have a game where you scratch out 1 hit and get walked a couple times, that kind of thing. But Carson Atkins definitely falls into that streaky category. He hit that one on the nose, but unfortunately, shortstop is over to make a good play, and that's how the inning will end. We'll see if Lynchburg can hold it down here in the 9th. 11-8, a 3-run advantage for the Hornets as they look to stay undefeated at home. It's coming up next here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Every great college has a great city. For Lynchburg, we are near urban areas with lots of restaurants, shopping, and events. Plus, we are one of the top schools in the area. Come see for yourself.
Mason McDowell on to try to close it down for the Lynchburg Hornets here in the top of the 9th. They lead 11-8. It's been a back-and-forth ball game. Virginia Wesleyan has led 3 separate times in this. They led 1-0. They led 4-2 after the top of the 4th. Wesleyan led 7-6 after the top of the 6th inning. But at every turn, really, Lynchburg has answered nicely. Hornets get no runs in that bottom of the 8th inning. 1 hit, that was from Ryan Long. They leave him stranded. Lynchburg has left, pardon me, fans, just trying to add it up here. It's hard to read my own writing sometimes, but Lynchburg has left 9 on today. But offensively, it's been really good stuff from the Hornets. Here comes Matt Cinco to lead off for Virginia Wesleyan. This is Mason McDowell, another one of those talented freshmen out of the bullpen for Lynchburg. He's only got 2 appearances on the year, but they've both come lately, 2 times in the month of March. Mason McDowell has gotten on the bump. He pitched Saturday in Game 2 against Roanoke. He has hit this season. We saw Mason McDowell get a hit in his first career at bat. That was way back in a doubleheader tilt against York at the beginning of March. So Mason McDowell, a 2-way player, very capable. You saw sharp movement on the breaking ball there. 1-1 the count with nobody away here for Mason McDowell. Coming right after it. Love that kind of rock and fire downhill motion. Not a lot of wasted motion either from number 13, Mason McDowell. It's a good look. Lynchburg has used 7 pitchers today, and they have more available. Low and away target from Fiedler. That was missed by McDowell. He's a freshman from Fishersville, Virginia, just outside Stanton there. Wilson Memorial High School for Mason McDowell. Set at the chest, delivering, needs to get over. Oh, that one got under the glove from Josh Jorman. We come to expect those outstanding plays from Josh Jorman. It was kind of a surprise to see that one go by But it is into right field for a base hit. Matt Cinco, he's got 3 hits on the day. Virginia Wesleyan, they've got some players that have put together some pretty outstanding stat lines. You got to start with the leadoff man, Jalen Hines. 2 homers and a single. But Matt Cinco not far behind with 3 hits, a double in there for good measure. McDowell misses low and away with that one. Looking to close it down. The 7th pitcher for Lynchburg today. Really making the bullpen work. Jack Batchmore did a lot of the heavy lifting. But Nick Matfield, 2 innings. Ryan Long is there to catch a line drive, throws to first, and it's another double play. Second time the Hornets have gotten a double dip that way. The first one was Jackson Harding catching a line drive and then diving to second. This time it's the new second baseman, Ryan Long. Makes the ball find him, snares the line drive, and throws to first in time. 2 away here for Lynchburg. How about that? Bit of bad luck there for Connor Hall. He actually hit into both of those double plays. This is Jake Ness. Jake Ness came in as a sub when Michael Burton got injured trying to run down a triple. Last chance to dance here for Virginia Wesleyan. He needs to keep this inning going. 2 away. 1-1 the count. Freshman Mason McDowell. Just his 3rd appearance of the season for Lynchburg, but he's here in a big spot. Ground ball up the middle. Long is going to try to backhand it. It sort of rolled up the arm there. It was going to be a tough play, even if Long fielded it cleanly. It's one where sometimes you'll see the infielder go to the feet first slide, get the eyes a little lower, get the glove a little lower, easier that way as well. And then you can put that foot in the ground on the feet first slide and pop up and throw across, or maybe even throw it from the knee. But either way, it's an infield single for Ness. He's got 2 hits on the day as well. Offensively, the roll call is not bad for Virginia Wesleyan. Runner went early. That's going to be an uncontested steal. Got a bit of a running start there on Mason McDowell. And for Lynchburg, it's not really consequential. Don't know that they were even holding him over there. I think Jorman was playing behind, in fact, fans. Run doesn't mean anything. It's an 11-8 game. It's that 11th run that will matter. That will be the one that Lynchburg will hold quite a bit tighter. Yes, you lose the ability to go the short way at second with a force, but I think you got confidence in your infield to throw across and get the out that way. 1-2 the count now. McDowell fires. Just missed on the outside. Lynchburg looking to go 8-0 at Fox Field this season. They are 28-2 here in the last 2 years, and it's 50-plus wins in the last 3 seasons at home. McDowell trying to close it down for one more. 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss, and it's held on by Fiedler. That's your ball game. Lynchburg wins it 11-8. 7 pitchers, bullpen doing the job for Lynchburg. Jack Batchmore pitched outstanding in the middle part of the game and then hands it off to Mason McDowell to finish it out. Lynchburg moves to 14-3 on the season, 8-0 at home, and the Hornets now 4-1 in ODAC play. Virginia Wesleyan, they fall to 3-14-1. Wesleyan now 500 in ODAC play at 2-2-1. Lynchburg in action against Washington and Lee on the road in Lexington this weekend. Fans, check the weather and check the Lynchburg social media and sports website to get more on the schedule. That game may get moved to Wednesday. Our next LHSN broadcast will be at home Tuesday, March 28th. Hampton-Sydney comes to town. We hope you'll join us for that one. Kyle Haney saying so long. We had a great crew up here again in the box, and we can run them down, but some of them prefer to remain anonymous. So we'll leave it at that. Hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday, baseball fans. We'll talk to you soon. Lynchburg wins it 11-8 over Virginia Wesleyan.